Mic check. Mic check. Going live, going live. You are live. You are live. You are live. Double tap at the like button. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Perfect Timing Podcast. You made it to the live stream. You made it. I'm so excited for you to be here. Welcome to the Perfect Timing Podcast. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Double tap at the like button as you come in. Hey, how's everybody doing? What is it, Thursday? What is it, a blizzard? Welcome to the Perfect Timing Podcast. Double tap at the like button. Welcome, everybody. Thursday is hot like fire. Double tap at the like button, man. We in the building, man. We got a fire day. MAGA analysis going in from the start. Oh, hot off the presses, man. So much to talk about today. So excited. Jasmine Crockett failure. Trump news, Trump news, Trump news. Let everybody know on YouTube right now. Trump news, Trump news, Trump news. Giving Democrats the boo blues. Giving Democrats the boo boo. And they boo-hoo-hooing, man. I mean, they boo-hoo-hooing. How many times did I say? I mean, I've been on this shit since 2025, 2026. We still gonna strive, stay alive. 2026, we got the mix. 2028, everything is great. I said ain't no blue wave, we got a red wave. I said ain't no blue wave, but when I was saying there wasn't no blue wave, when I explained to you, so many videos now are coming out about Jasmine Crockett and the lack of this blue wave, the lack of energy, intensity, anything on the left. The left is dying. There, honestly, I believe. I told you, Gavin Newsom can't run for governor again in California, right? So what I said, I don't believe California will break Democrat again for another 10, 20 years. It's looking like that in the nation. I don't see us voting for a Democrat for president for the next several cycles, right? And it's just becoming more and more evident about what the Democrat Party has been co-opted. More and more coming out about the Epstein files. You're learning more about the architects behind the Democratic Party, like Jeffrey Epstein and many others. So now we're learning. When I say architects, and when we talk about the deep state, I mean, look at this Jasmine Crockett story. We got the ICE raids, we got ICE walkouts. So much information I got to give out today. We were first with the ICE walkouts, right? I got a timeline. I'm going to share with everybody. ICE walkout started in January. I got a timeline. As I kept reporting the news, right? As we saw police getting involved, and then we thought about Nick Shirley, right? This is double tap at the like button, man. This is Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, man. #1 MAGA conservative YouTube channel on the podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? So when I've been doing these stories, man, we got ICE, we got TDA Tucson. I got brand new information on Nancy Guthrie. I'm not gonna go too in depth, because I'm going to do my next Nancy Guthrie update, episode 3. But I do got some things I want to share because it's conservative, Republican, MAGA aligned. Double tap at the like button. Whoa, that MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. But Tucson, Arizona is a hotbed. I'm surprised. Tucson, Arizona is a hotbed for cartels, for Mexican gangs, for criminal activity. We just have an arrest right now in Texas. Go to your iPhones, double tap at the like button. Get the likes up fast, baby. Go to your iPhone right now. Look in Texas. Look up a Mexican street gang arrested for home invasion robberies right now today. You think it's only in Texas? I'm going to bring you news that it's not only in Texas. I told you yesterday about these border towns. I told you yesterday about every major border town in the country and what the crime element that they're dealing with ever since the Biden-Kamala Harris debacle. Boom, boom, boom. The Biden-Harris debacle. Boom, boom, boom. All of these major cities, all of these major border towns are dealing with the same crime. Then we're going to get into Crockett, and then we're going to get into Mamdani. How many promises? Do you know how good it is to be today? You know how fire. Let's go, MAGA. Let's go. Let's go, MAGA. You know how happy it is to be us today. Every day we win. Yesterday we did Nancy, but we're going to win today. Every day MAGA wins. Do you know how good it feels? How does it feel? New York. Hey, New York, I got a question for you. How does it feel? I want to know right now. New York. I gotta ask New York, how does it feel, New York? I said it, New York. You believe the Morani. They call him Mamdani. I call him the Morani. I call him the Morani. You call him Mamdani, I call him the Morani. And you are the people, remember on the Twitter, remember on social media, what did they say to us, MAGA? What did they say to us, conservatives? Double tap, hit the like button. Not enough likes, get those likes up, baby. Get those likes up, baby. Double tap, hit the like button. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Man, look, check this out. Get those likes up, man. Double tap, get those likes up. Let's have a great time. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Do not get reported to YouTube. Do not mess with your YouTube profile trying to be a comedian. I'm the only comedian. So remember, as you come into my chat, show respect, show love, show unity, guard your privacy, and abide by the YouTube community guidelines and the Perfect Timing Podcast community guidelines. Let's go, baby. So what was happening on social media all 2025? Oh, this is what you voted for. You got what you voted for. Trump news, Trump news, Trump news. Giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. We having a good day today. So Ronnie the Morani Mamdani, New York. How does it feel? Everybody in the chat, come on. I need y'all to say it with me. How does it feel to be a New Yorker right now? How does it feel? I voted for Mamdani and he wants all of my money. I gotta lay a foundation. Before I get to roasting Mamdani and the New Yorkers who voted for the Morani, I got to lay a foundation. See, this promise of hope and change. Do y'all remember Barack Obama, the king of Wakanda? Right. Do y'all remember hope and change? Do y'all remember hope and change? Do y'all remember all the promises that were made? I remember the promises. What's up to you, New York? How you feel, New York, after voting for Mamdani, the Morani, and they go up your taxes on everybody? Well, not everybody, because Mamdani, he wanted taxes to be raised on the rich. The rich people told him no. How you love it, MAGA? Giving them Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Oh, my goodness. So Barack Obama, the king of Wakanda, hope and change. Barack Obama, the king of Wakanda, hope and change. He got elected promising something he knew he couldn't give. Sounds like Zarani Mamdani, the Morani. But who's the real moron? Who's the real? We're going to talk about it today. Who is the real moron? Barack Obama, the king of Wakanda, got you all upset. Got you all your panties all in the bunch. You don't have free health care. You still don't. You don't have you don't have free health care. Israel has free health care because Israel is the boogeyman. Remember, white men are the boogeyman. Israel are the boogeyman. If the Democrats want you to vote, the Democrats won't give you policy. The Democrats give you a boogeyman. Boo-ha, moo-ha. Everybody, can I get a moo-ha in the chat? Shout out to my Gen X. We got the best cartoons. Can I get a moo-ha in the chat for my Gen X audience? Moo-ha. So they give you an enemy, right? Israel has free health care. Why don't you have free health care? Yeah, I don't have free health care. Israel has free health care. Vote for Barack Obama. Yeah. Hope and change my ass. Hope and change my ass. Barack Obama got you all in your fifis, got your panties all in the bunch, promised you free health care. Just like Mamdani, it didn't take Barack Obama 5 minutes. It didn't take Barack Obama 5 minutes. Barack Obama can't, my Barack Obama can't, I can't do it. Everybody in the chat, let's do our best Barack Obama impression. Woo, we having a good day today. I'm gonna roast. I'm roasting Mamdani. I'm roasting the Democrats. We roasting New Yorkers. Let's go, MAGA. Let's go. I am so in love with you. I promised you, do. Barack Obama promised free health care, right? And he said as soon as he got in, similar to Mamdani, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't give you free health care. Mamdani ran on a 3-pillar point platform. Can I get some of my Democratic trolls after you get done getting on your buckets to take my knuckles? Can you get in the chat and tell me his 3-point plan? Because they know how to troll, but they don't know how to patrol. Hey, MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. You don't even know what you voted for. New Yorker, you don't even know what you voted for. What was his 3-point plan? He promised you he was going to give you free daycare, free buses, rent freezes, lower the rent. Soon as he got in, what did they tell him? I can't do it. Can't do it. Everything you promised us, we voted for you. Everything we promised us. Mamdani, everything you promised you can't do. So Barack Obama did the same thing. We weren't surprised. MAGA knows the climate. Double tap, hit the like button. MAGA knows the climate. MAGA knew the climate. MAGA saw Barack Obama sell the same BS to the American people. So we watched the New Yorkers buy the bull. And you know how the young people do like this? And they say he's eating, he's cooking. Well, we watched the New Yorkers do like the young people and eat up Mamdani's bullshit, because we saw you eat up Barack Obama's bullshit. Barack Obama promised you free health care. 5 days, 5 minutes he gets in the office, I can't give you free health care. So we say, okay, can you do single payer? We were already primed because it came up in the debate. So the public was already primed for single payer. They never were going to give you free health care. That's why single payer was in the debate. That's why other Democrats brought up single payer, so it would make it easier for Barack Obama to sweep the rug out from under your legs, take away free health care, and then dangle single payer in front of you, but you never got single payer. Can we have a real talk this morning? Hey, that MAGA. Hey, can we have a real talk this morning? Dangle that single payer, but you never got it. You know what you got instead? And this is eerily similar to Mamdani. I got to lay a foundation for my roast, because I am roasting this morning. I'm roasting because we told you, you got what you voted for. You got what you voted for. How many times have you heard that, conservatives? How many in your home, online, at work, from your wife? You got what you voted for. You got what you voted for. Well, New York, the Big Apple. You got what you voted for. Hee, ha, ha. Trump news, giving Democrats the boo. Then today, we handing out tissue. Today, I'm handing out tissue napkins, because today you're going to be in tears. Today, I'm handing out tissue and napkins, because we giving Democrats the blues. We giving Democrats the blues. Yes, we is, because they promised you free health care. They promised you single payer, and you got a mandate, i.e. more tax, more money out of your pocket. Now, billionaires who own medical insurance companies, who own hospitals, I know it's unfathomable, but there are motherfuckers who own hospitals by the last name of Kaiser and shit like that. Motherfuckers who own insurance. So while you had to pay more money out of your pocket for your beautiful black Wakanda king, hee, ha, ha, the motherfuckers who are the movers and the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world. You know, Jeffrey Epstein had a company where he said, I'm only going to take billion-dollar clients. You know, the type of motherfuckers who own hospitals, the type of motherfuckers who own insurance plans, who got a 400,000% increase and made trillions of dollars under Obamacare. You know what you got from Obama? You got what Mamdani is giving out. Mamdani promised free buses, free health care, free rent. Instead, what are you getting from Mamdani? You're getting an increase in your property taxes to where you can't even afford to live in New York City. You voted for it to be cheaper. You voted for it to be fairer. You voted for it to be equal playing field. That's not what Mamdani is giving you. That's not what Barack Obama. Anybody in the chat, there's a lot of piece of shit trolls in the chat. Does any of you piece of shit know what quantitative easing is and what it did? It didn't do anything for everyday Americans like me and you, the good conservative Republicans, but maybe some of you Democrats who dream about being rich and being celebrities and give a fuck more about celebrity than actual politics. You probably care about, you want quantitative, but Barack Obama created these millionaires. Barack Obama created these billionaires, but you didn't get shit. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't get shit. I didn't get shit. I didn't get free health care. But the billionaires, he created quantitative easing. He got this health care shit where people made millions and billions of dollars. But what did you get, America? So Zarani Mamdani promised you free buses. Zarani Mamdani promises you free child care. Zarani Mamdani promises you he's gonna tax the rich. Ain't that what AOC is about? The communist left, the socialist left. He doesn't tax the motherfucking rich though. Barack Obama doesn't give you free health care. Barack Obama put a tax on the middle class. Zandani Morani is putting a tax on the middle class, on your blue left-wing ass. No, they don't. No, they don't understand. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand what's they don't understand what's going on. Huh? I do. And we sharing the news this morning. Double tap hit the like button. We sharing the news this morning. Double tap hit the like button. I didn't left the chat open. Let's have a good day today. 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 Double tap, hit the like button, everybody. Double tap, hit the like button. So what are you getting in New York? What are you getting in New York? You're getting a fork. What are you getting in New York? You're getting a fork, baby. More taxes. I'm going to get into it. Hold on. I'm going to get into it. Double tap, hit the like button. Let's take a little pause. Pause for the cause. Let's take a little pause. I'm going to slow it down real quick. Slow it down. You don't have to rush. Take your time. What's the rush? Take your time. What's the rush? Slow it down. Put in trust. How's everybody doing? Get them likes up, man. We need them likes up quick and early in the podcast. Everybody that touched the screen, get the likes up. We need them likes up quick and fast, man. So quick and so fast in the dash. MAGA 2026 got the sticks, man. We got a lot to talk about. This red wave, this lack of a blue wave. Yeah, we don't have enough likes, man. Sound like we don't have enough likes, man. We don't have enough likes, man. We don't have enough likes, man. Let's go, man. Let's get the likes going up, man. Not enough likes, y'all. I'm going to take the video down. I'm going to talk some more shit. I'm going to take the video down, talk some more shit. We got 15 likes. We had up to like 50, 60 people. We need our likes up. We need our subscribes up. Get them subscriptions up. Let's get the donations flowing. Let's get the donations flowing. Hit the super chat. Hit the cash app. $ Big D Reds. Put my cash app in the chat. All of my supporters. Shout out to all of the members and subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting and watching and supporting the channel. Double tap, hit the like button, man. We having a good time today. Oh, man, so much fire coming in right now. Double tap, hit the like button. So much fire coming in right now. Zarani Mamdani, we got the ICE raids. We got New York. We got Jasmine. Oh, we got the Democratic deep state. Y'all thought it was a fake. It ain't fake, man. The Democratic deep state is real. Jasmine Crockett got this bewildered look on her face. like a deer in headlight. That finally people are listening. Finally people are understanding when I explained about these 5 seats in Texas and Greg Abbott and Jasmine Crockett. Why was Jasmine Crockett on the jet plane? Why was Jasmine Crockett so upset? Why was it so important to Jasmine Crockett how it went with these 5 seats? Because she was being fired. She was being fired by Donald Trump and Greg Abbott, and at the same time, she was being sat down by the Democratic Party. You guys just didn't know it yet. Just like MTG. Why did MTG step down? MTG did not step down because of Trump's rhetoric. Because if you go back to Jasmine Crockett in the viral big built body bitch comments, that was more horrible, more sinister, and you would think more negative and more damaging, right? But yet and still, MTG didn't step down. MTG only stepped down because she lost the support of the party. MTG lost the support and she would not be able to get the RNC funding, and because they knew that she had crossed the party line, right? And that she was no longer a viable candidate for conservative Republicans, right? Jasmine Crockett lost her job when those seats got enveloped, right? No one ever knew that one of those seats was Jasmine Crockett's seats. No one knew that one of those seats was Jasmine Crockett's seats. I knew. I told my audience, Jasmine Crockett just got fired. Y'all remember The Apprentice with Donald Trump? Y'all remember Donald Trump would sit across on the table and tell people that they fired Donald Trump? So that's what happened to Jasmine Crockett. So what we're learning today is it goes deeper. It goes deeper. Jasmine Crockett was not only fired by Greg Abbott and Donald Trump, but when Greg Abbott and Donald Trump fired Jasmine Crockett, that effectively ended her political career because the DNC pulled their support immediately. That is why Jasmine Crockett could not run for Congress. She couldn't rerun for Congress because the DNC wasn't going to spend the money, because the DNC did not believe that she could win in the 33rd district now that it had been enveloped by a larger Republican district, and they didn't think Jasmine Crockett could beat the incumbent. So Jasmine Crockett is forced to run for Congress. Wrong. Texas hasn't sent a Democrat to the Senate in over 30 years. So now there's this whole big issue with Jasmine Crockett and an interview on Stephen Colbert, and now Jasmine Crockett is looking like a deer in the headlights. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I've been on Colbert several times. Yes, you have. Looking very beautiful. They dressed you up like a pig with lipstick, and put you out there to say whatever they wanted you to say. And then what the Democrats do. Isn't it funny how everybody they want me to be a Democrat. I think they want me to look like Jasmine Crockett looks today with egg on her face. They want me to get used by the Democratic Party. I'm not going for it. I am a conservative Republican. I can see clearly now that Jasmine's gone. Nothing but red wave on our way. So Jasmine Crockett got played by the DNC. Jasmine Crockett got played by the Democratic left-wing media she was their darling. She had on a yellow suit. She had on a blue suit. She was all over left-wing liberal media, showing off that big, fine, pretty ass. But all of a sudden, she's no longer the belle of the ball. Jasmine Crockett is no longer the belle of the ball. The DNC is going white. If it ain't white, it ain't right. And then you guys want to say that the Republicans are racist. You want to say the Republicans are racist, but Barack Obama, this keeps happening. This keeps happening to you black Democrats. Y'all keep pointing the finger at black Republicans, but shit, on that left, the blacks is getting towed up. So in Virginia with Spamberger, Barack Obama did the same thing. Is anybody surprised that the DMC is putting a knife in the back of Jasmine Crockett when you saw what Barack Obama did in Virginia? Barack Obama put his thumb on the scale. Spamberger wins, and now she's escalating taxes just like Gavin Newsom, just like Mamdani. How long can we run from the truth? How long are the jokes not funny? How long can you troll when you're broke? I'm hoping pretty soon the trolls will not be able to troll because you will not be able to pay your cell phone bill. If you live in a democratic state, you will not be able to come on here and say bullshit, because you will be taxed out of the ability to pay a simple cell phone or internet bill. I hope it's still funny then, because people in Virginia are learning they can't afford their energy bills. People in California are learning they can't afford to live in California. And now New Yorkers are saying with the brand new Mamdani taxes, so pretty soon you're gonna have to choose between your cell phone and being a prick online and eating food. Today, you get to be a prick online. But pretty soon, because of your vote, remember, all of 2025, all of my conservative Republican, all of my deplorable MAGA in the chat, how many times have they said to us, you got what you voted for? But see, they're ignoring. They have so much fun in hate. See, hate is an emotion and it keeps you distracted. So you're having so much fun with your TDS. You're so enthralled with your Trump derangement syndrome. Even Hillary Clinton is noticing that it's a losing strategy to fall so in love with the hate for Trump, because you're not focusing on what's actually happening. So you're so enthralled with your TDS, you don't see what Spamberger is doing. You don't see what Marani is doing. You don't see what Newsom is doing. You don't see how the DNC just sold out your famous black woman. They put a statue of a black woman, remember? Y'all remember the statue of the black woman? During the Biden era, they put up a statue of a black woman, told everybody vote for Kamala Harris, black woman, black woman, black woman. Stephen Colbert himself wore a Black Lives Matter bracelet, had Jasmine Crockett on his show many times. What did they do to the black woman? What are they doing to black Democrats? What are they doing to black politicians? Barack Obama didn't care that the person running against Spamberger was a black woman. Now, when it was Kamala Harris, who's not even black, Barack Obama wanted to pressure black men. But in Virginia, where there was an authentic descendant of slavery, a real black woman, Barack Obama put his finger on the scale, and now the white woman is raising taxes. Isn't that funny? You got what you voted for. Mamdani is now the governor of New York. He promised you buses. He promised you daycare. He promised you tax the billionaires. Instead, you're paying more. You're paying more. How long can you troll? How long? I promise you, you won't have enough money. 2026 is going to be red. 2028 is going to be red. And the Democrats probably will never win another election, because Trump is going to close the loopholes of how Democrats have been able to cheat to win. Democrats don't have policy. Democrats don't have constituency. Democrats don't have committee. So they've used cheating to win. Trump is going to close that loophole. You're going to be forced to run on policy. Jasmine Crockett, it really doesn't matter that she's been fired, because she never had policy. Mamdani did not deliver on his promises. This is the thing about the Democratic Party. They want to elevate failures. Tim Walz, failure. Kamala Harris, failure. And I'm not trying to be mean or biased. That's why I'm giving you across the board. Walz is a white man. Kamala is a black woman. So I'm not picking and choosing. I'm just telling you the truth about your Democratic Party. They want to elevate and promote failure. Tim Walz was a failure. Kamala Harris was a failure. Jasmine Crockett, failure, failure, failure. And then you get mad when you don't win. But they never were winners. This is what Kamala never won anything. Tim Walz was a loser. Tim Walz has been forced to step down. My chat said Tim Walz can never run for office again. These are born losers. This is your candidate, born losers. Trump is not creating a Mamdani. Trump did not create Mamdani. Trump did not make Mamdani lie. Trump did not make Mamdani forfeit his campaign promises to elevate taxes on the middle class and the lower class. So you said tax billionaires, But instead, you're going to raise property taxes and make it impossible for middle class and lower class people to enjoy the New York City. That's what you guys voted for. And so how long can you ignore these truths? That in Virginia, you voted for Spamberger, this beautiful blonde-haired white woman, and now you can't afford to live in Virginia after voting for the Democrat. Exorbitant taxes, not just one tax, but so many new taxes that your life is forever changed in Virginia. Your life is forever changed in New York. I'm not making this up. California, Gavin Newsom, all of the oil refineries are gone. Our lives are forever changed in California by Democratic policy or non-policy or Democratic liberal EPA ideology. Our lives, some can argue for the better or for the worse. I say for the worse because gas continues to rise in California. We had the highest gas in the nation already. We had the highest gas taxes in the nation already. Now, Gavin Newsom in 2026 added more gas taxes and an additional tax up to $4,200 just to drive in California. I can't make it up. You heard about it. You know about it. Every Democratic state is increasing taxes on everyday middle-class working Americans, and you refuse to focus on it because of your TDS. Because of your TDS. And the sad part is Trump is not raising the property taxes in New York. This is the sad part. You have TDS. You're hyper-focused on your emotion. You're hyper-focused on your hate. And hate can be addictive like a drug. And while you are hyper-focused on your hate, they are just taxing and taxing and taxing, and no one is there to check. America was built on checks and balances. If you're a good political savvy advocate, you believe in checks and balances. What I am explaining is the Democrats are running amok. The left is running amok, and they are being allowed to run amok by their constituents because they have convinced you that hate is better. They have given you a shot of the hate drug, and you guys are hooked. Yeah, give me some of that TDS. Who got some of that good TDS, man? I need some of that good shit, man. That's what that's what y'all doing. And so much so that you can find a way to agree with the Mamdani policies. You can find a way to forgive him for lying, making campaign promises that he knew he couldn't keep. Making campaign promises that he knew he couldn't keep. Let's get into it. Double tap, hit the like button.
Equity, 4.6 million, Commission on Racial Equity, 835,000, Commission on Gender Equity, 260,000 for Department of Education, Chief Diversity Officer, 301,000 for 3 FDNY Civilian Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. There's a title for you. And 118,000 for an FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. Is that necessary stuff? You can't cut that back? Equity, 4.6 million, Commission on Racial Equity, 835,000, Commission on Gender Equity, 260,000 for Department of Education, Chief Diversity Officer, 301,000 for 3 FDNY Civilian Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. There's a title for you. And 118,000 for an FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. Is that necessary stuff? You can't cut that back? Equity, 4.6 million, Commission on Racial Equity, 835,000, Commission on Gender Equity, 260,000 for Department of Education, Chief Diversity Officer, 301,000.
Now I thought he was gonna cut the budget. So now Mamdani is raising the budget, and now this is where your tax. So now it's become too expensive for you to live in New York, and this is where the money is going. This is what happened with defund the police. The Democrats are stealing right in front of your face. 12 billion, 127 billion is the New York City budget. Did you guys know the New York City budget is more than the budget for state of Florida? The entire state of Florida. 22 million people in Florida. And then you have 8 million people in New York City. So you're paying more, we pay more money to be in New York City than to be in any other state. So more money to run a city than it costs to run a state. And then the money is going to these Democratic payouts. It's basically theft the same way they were stealing in Minnesota. It's basically theft the same way they were stealing in Minnesota. Let's break this down of where your money is going. But 127 billion is the New York budget.
For 3 FDN.
And then you got 5.6 billion.
Why civilian chief diversity inclusion officers. There's a title for you. And 118,000 for an
4.6 million. And then 835,000. Doing. Everybody just have a good time, man. I'm so glad I've gotten older. I'm so glad I've gotten older and I've learned to deal with some of this stuff, because some of this stuff, man, I'm so glad I'm able to deal with this stuff. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know the fight and the battle that we have, man. Y'all just don't know the fight and the battle that we have. Let me read this for you guys. $5.6 million for Office of Racial Equity, $4.6 million Commission on Racial Equity, $835,000 Commission on Gender Equity, $260,000 for Department of Education Chief Advisor Diversity Officer, $300,000 for 3 FDNY Civilian Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers, FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officer, $118,000. Racial equity and diversity roles included in Mamdani's budget. So these are roles that never existed before. So we're adding jobs that have no merit to these jobs bring no merit or bring no benefit to the citizen, other than the fact that they're people of color. Y'all with me? These jobs bring no merit other than the fact that they're people of color. Let's look at it one more time. These jobs bring no merit. They're not going to help fires. They're not going to help, stop crime. They're just brown people at these places because you believe you need brown people. I think you need water, fire hydrants, fire engines. I think we need more police officers on the street, especially after I've exposed the numbers of police or the lack of police. But this money will go toward racial equity and diversity roles included in Mamdani's $127 billion New York budget that's larger than the state of Florida for half as many people.
Equity, $4.6 million, Commission on Racial Equity, $835,000, Commission on Gender Equity, $260,000 for Department of Education, Chief Diversity Officer, $301,000 for 3 FDNY Civilian Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. There's a title for you. And $118,000 for an FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers. Is that necessary stuff? You can't cut that back? Equity, $4.6 million, Commission on Racial Equity, $835,000, Commission on Gender Equity, $260,000 for Department of Education, Chief Diversity Officer.
None of this increases literacy rates. None of this brings down crime. That's why it's theft. Because you actually have issues in every major city. Now, do you guys remember, this is where we had hotels full of immigrants and migrants, right? Right? So how is it that this is the direction after quarantine, after a moratorium, after cities are in deficit? What Mamdani learned is that he can't do the breaks that he wanted because New York is in a deficit. Well, surprise, Mamdani, all American cities are in a deficit after a moratoriums and quarantines and people not working for 2 years. Y'all remember Biden in the Build Back Rebuild? I thought that we were in the Build Back Rebuild, but Biden opened up the border, making it even more difficult to build back and rebuild. We saw what he was telling these people was lies, but they believed him. And she said, same thing is happening in New Jersey. All these Democratic governors, you voted for these Democratic governors, you're getting what you voted for. Everybody that voted for these Democratic governors, you're getting what you voted for. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mamdani wants to raise the property taxes. Unbelievable. Cannot believe it. After promising, so nobody, no billionaire tax. No billionaire tax. No, I didn't hear nothing about buses. No pausing or freezing of rent. None of the things Mamdani promised. Instead, he's raising taxes. I mean, you can't even make it up. Instead, like, how bold and brazen. It's very similar to Barack Obama promising all these free health care and instead giving you a tax. Giving you a mandated tax. Giving you a mandated tax. It should have been criminal. It should have been criminal. But you love Barack Obama so much. You love Barack Obama so much. It's sick that you accepted, just like with Mamdani, you accepted the fact that he lied. You didn't get free health care. You didn't get single payer. Instead, you got a mandate that made medical insurance companies trillions of dollars. And then Trump stops to pay the $1 trillion boondoggle and everybody. I haven't heard shit about the Obama subsidies. I thought all these people, Democrats, made it seem like they shut down the government for 43 days. I haven't seen one TikTok from one elderly person who's suffering because the Obamacare subsidies expire. Can anybody put something in the chat for me right now? Y'all know we live in a social media era. Y'all know we live in a social media era. So why don't we have any elderly people making videos on TikTok about them losing money or them not being able to eat or starving to death because of the subsidies expiring? I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? I haven't seen it. But they shut down the government for 43 days, and then they had everybody terrified that their grandmothers would starve to death. They shut down the government for 43 days, had everybody terrified that their grandmothers would starve to death. I haven't seen one TikTok. Everybody has TikTok. My wife's mother has TikTok. Everyone has TikTok. I haven't seen one video saying, oh, my subsidies expired. I can't buy tuna. Not one. Mamdani, Zarani, the Marani.
The city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
That's what he always wanted to do. New York City.
Mamdani promised you gas, promised you everything. Instead, he's raising the, let's tee up the video. Mamdani's plan, if he can't tax the ultra rich, which he promised the billionaires in New York, then he'll hit the New Yorkers with the massive property tax. Enjoy New York. Hope you get the free. Hope you get the free buses. Remember, free buses, free healthcare, instead raising taxes. I think he went to the Barack Obama Black Lives Matter Wakanda School for Socialism. Let's go, MAGA.
The city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
That's what he always wanted to do. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is applying heavy pressure on Governor Hochul in an election year after unveiling his $127 billion budget proposal, giving Albany an ultimatum: either approve tax increases on the rich and the corporations, or Mamdani will raise property taxes by nearly 10%. Joining us now to explain this, what it means, those two paths, is the co-host of the Big Money Show. She's got a big announcement at the end of this on Fox Business, Jackie DeAngelis.
Good morning.
Jackie, you said this is distressing.
Oh, very distressing. And what I noticed in that soundbite, you guys called it an ultimatum. I'd go as far to call it a threat. And I don't like to see elected officials threatening each other in this way. Hochul's worried about her reelection, and she knows that a tax hike in any way, shape, or form will not be received well by voters. So this isn't just about her winning. It's that people don't want it, and he doesn't get that message.
But he'll probably do it if she wins and Bruce Blakeman. She'll probably do it anyway, just like the whole congestion pricing thing, which she's sure she wouldn't do.
And it was debacle.
So let's break this down. Option one, number one, tax the wealthy. Raise the taxes already on corporations. We're already one of the most unattractive tax states in the country. Can only be approved by the state government. That's where Kathy Hochul comes in. But so does the legislature. And the Governor Hochul has insisted she isn't in favor of that, but she's already given a little bit on child care, too.
Yes. And what she's trying to do is the reasonable, sensible thing. But that's when he pivots and he says, okay, if you don't give me what I want, here's what I'm going to do. And this is what is distressing, because this ends up hurting the people, many of them that he proposed that he would help with affordability, because these 3 million homes that are going to get hit with this real estate tax, these are not all millionaires. These are a lot of very normal people that will end up not being able to afford to live here. They will flee the city, and the problem gets worse.
Let's get into it. Let's break it down. I want to go pound for pound, break it all the way down so people will flee the city. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that? So what's the design? So this is the Hunger Games. Y'all think the Republicans are the bad guys. No, the Democrats are. AOC is the one at the Met Gala. So the Democrats will be at the Met Gala while all of you will be paying and working for them to be beautiful. Jasmine Crockett gets to have a weave down to her ass. She grew up a millionaire. AOC grew up a millionaire, and they want to keep their millions. Nancy Pelosi worth $400 million. Maxine Waters worth millions of dollars. Mamdani pretty soon is going to be a multi-millionaire. I bet you dollars to donuts. Ilhan Omar, over the course of 13 months, she is now married to a white man. I showed you the wedding certificate that proves she married her brother, Saeed, and she's now worth $30 million. Let's break this shit down, brothers and sisters. Let's break. We gotta break this down. And it's not just happening in New York. Remember, I told you about these Democratic governors. It's also happening in Virginia. This is a great day for MAGA and conservatives today. I'm having so much fun with my podcast today because it's so many victories to list about the truths. How many times can you run from these truths? They're not going to be able to run from these truths in the voting booth. You know, you can make jokes online, Stephen Colbert, Tim Dillon, but November is coming, baby, and there is a red wave. You will not be able to make jokes in the voting booth come 2026, come 2028. Everybody knows Republicans are going to take the role again. Not just in the House and the Senate, but the Republicans will win the presidency again, and it will be a landslide victory because of these Democratic policies or lack thereof. Can we be honest? Let's get to Virginia. Shout out to my chat, W chat. My chat is the one who reminded me. Perfect. Don't forget about Spanberger in Virginia, who Barack Obama campaigned for above a black woman. We're going to get into Jasmine Crockett getting thrown under the bus by the Democratic deep state media and liberals, and a great foundation. By the way Jasmine Crockett has been treated is the way Barack Obama put his finger on the scale for Virginia governor, and now what is Virginia facing? You got what you voted for, Virginia. Dear Virginia residents, your new Democratic governor, Abigail Spanberger, and her party is about to royally screw you with new taxes. Dog walking tax, dog grooming tax, gym membership tax, dry cleaning tax, counseling tax, storage tax. Should I keep going? Home repair tax, vehicle repair tax, digital personal property tax, tax on fantasy sports context, new personal property tax, delivery tax, tax on top of the tax, and then more tax. How about tax? How about tax? How about tax? What a great day in conservative America. I said Trump news, Trump news, Trump news, giving Democrats the blues. Today we giving them the blues. I promise you. Today we giving it to the blues. Today we giving the blues. Today we giving the blues, man. What a hell of a job, ladies and gentlemen. What a hell of a job, man. #1 podcast on YouTube. Let's get those likes up. #1 podcast on YouTube. You do what you do. The #1 podcast for geopolitical debate and domestic debate. What I want you to do right now, do me a huge favor, everybody watching right now. I need everybody watching right now, do me a huge favor. If you're learning, being entertained, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're so inclined that you would like to participate and watch again, hit the subscribe. When you hit the subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. Hit the plus sign and become a member right now. I'm going in the special. I'm calling it the Somali special. The SS, the perfect time in SS membership. It's called the Somali special. You could become a member of my channel for $5 a month. Can you believe that? You can become a member of my channel for $5 a month. You're going to get your name lit up in the chat. My chat be going crazy. Thousands of chats, millions of subscribers, millions of views. When you subscribe, you're going to get your name lit up in the chat. And then you're going to get access to special emojis and special live stream memberships, right? Double tap, hit the like button. Now, for $5 a month, you could either become a member or you could feed a starving Somalian, right? So you could become a member, or less than, remember when we were kids and you say, for 10 cents a day, you could feed a starving African. So this is why I'm calling it the Somali special, right? This is why I'm calling it the Somali special. You could feed a Somalian for 10 cents a day who happen to be on welfare, stealing billions of dollars, or you could become a member of my channel. You know what I'm saying? For less than 10 cents a day, $5 a month. We got $10 a month memberships. We got perfect timer, any timer, old timer, all the way up, man. All the way up. So let's get into the video. Make sure you become a member. Make sure you become a member. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's take a little moment to ourselves right now. Let's take a little moment to ourselves right now. How's everybody doing right now, man? What a great day. Y'all know I come in and because of the style, I come in hot and heavy. I don't have anybody, I don't have any guests. I just come in with all information and all energy and all character, all bravado. I carry the whole show for 3 to 4 to 5 hours by myself. And y'all gonna have to get more likes and more super chats. I carry the whole show by myself. I'll be having fun. We be having fun. We be yelling. We be laughing. I'm showing videos, giving out information that's never given out. And the support, man. I need a super chat before I keep going, man. I need more likes. I'm gonna need some super chats. Are we just gonna sit here and watch each other until I shut the podcast down? Get the likes up, get the super chats up. We've been going for an hour. I'm about to get into another story, fired up story, and the numbers. So it's just like, you know, it's not a lot. I think I got a goal of 10 or 15 super chats. Let's get a super chat going. Let's get some memberships. I need somebody to gift out some memberships. We need somebody to gift out some memberships, and we need some super chats. Somebody gift out some memberships, and we need some super chats right now. Hit the subscribe button, double tap, hit the like and subscribe. Let's gift out some super chats. Let's gift out some memberships. Let's get the super chats. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the super chats. Let's get the likes up. Double tap, hit the like button. Perfect Time Podcast. Fire show. I know the show is fire. I know we're doing great. So I just need you guys to participate. Everybody here who's enjoying the show, go ahead, hit the like button. Let's get a goal. Let's get a super chat goal. Get some gifts. We got our goal with the gifts. Nice, nice, nice. We got our goal. Get the gifts. Get the super chats up. I don't got no water, man. I was so excited to come hang out with you guys. I forgot to get my water. I might have to go get my water. Gotta stay hydrated, you know what I'm saying? How's everybody doing, man? Likes is looking good. Share the show with a like-minded person. Share the show with a like-minded person. Let me get that memberships going. Let me see somebody become a member. You can gift out a membership. Hit the super chat. Cash App, $ Big D Rants. Hit the like button. Hey, we got a $2 super chat from Brandon. With these taxes in New York, all I can ask for is you keep going. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. It's a lot of hard work we put into the show. To the thumbnail, to the research, to the tags, to the description, to shit paying the StreamYard bill. StreamYard is not free, even though it's the, I don't have anything negative to say about StreamYard. I don't have anything negative to say about anything. What I would like to say is thank God and I love you, and that I feel like I'm blessed to have this opportunity to be on YouTube to share things with you. Savannah Guthrie loses her mother. I'm not saying she won't come home. We're praying she comes home. But these type of things, I get frustrated. I'm a human being, so I get frustrated. I don't know. I'm so glad I'm not a child. I'm so glad I'm old, like a Gen Xer, and now I'm dealing with the BS. But imagine being 20. I could get why kids leave school and have all this depression, dealing with so many cowardice people, right, who want to say negative things. They could just go somewhere else and watch something else. It's so easy to go watch something else. I mean, you could just go watch something else, go do something else, or be productive in life. It's so easy. Like what I am doing right now is producing, and it should make you feel like shit that instead of producing, that you want to tear down. But that's what's wrong with the country right now, man. So it's not easy, man. It's not easy doing the podcast. I keep the podcast going. I have a dream, man, and I really, you know what it is, you guys? Every day when I see Trump doing the great things he does, the real motivation, I'm not making money from the podcast. I get treated like shit by everything surrounding the podcast. What motivates me to do the podcast is when Jesse Jackson passed away and Trump says what he says, not only about Jesse Jackson, but about Black Americans. Like, bro, like that's all I need. Like that's the fuel I need. That's why I do this. Because Trump has been so helpful to Black fathers. Now, I know a lot of sensitive white boys watch me. So let me qualify my statement. Yes, Trump has been extremely helpful to non-Black fathers also. The reason I interject Black is because every day I'm fucked with about my race. And if we would have had Kamala Harris as a president, I believe in actuality, just like these taxes, Black men, there would be RICO after RICO after RICO, and Black fathers and non-Black fathers would be on the chopping block. Title IX, gender transformation, gay rights, LGBTQ would have taken the stage, and Black fathers, non-Black fathers and families would have remained in the backseat. During the Biden, Kamala Harris generation, fathers had to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. If your son came home and said he wanted to be a girl, they threatened to take away custody. They said, Father, you have no rights and power over the children you've raised, loved, and paid for. That's why Trump won the mandate. So I truly believe, and when Trump, it almost brought tears to my eyes. So many people were upset when Trump did his eulogy. That was like a eulogy to Jesse Jackson. Well, Trump said, I gave Jesse Jackson offices. But Trump, you didn't have to say that because I'm not blind. I'm Gen X. I saw when you worked with Jesse Jackson. I saw when you hung out with blacks and you worked with black. I know about the opportunity zones. I know about the money to HBCUs, which Biden never did. Just like Biden never released the Epstein files, just like Barack Obama and Clinton never released the Epstein files. These motherfuckers could have released the Epstein files. You know what the fuck else they didn't do? They didn't give a fuck about HBCUs. You know, Trump said, in his eulogy to Jesse Jackson, he said, we helped fund historical black colleges. And you know why Trump gets props from people like me? Because he put in parentheses HBCUs, because he knows what he did. He know why he did it. And he called out when he said, rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. He said, me and Jesse funded HBCUs for years, and not one Democratic president did it, and they could have done it. Not one Democratic president. Biden talked about all this shit about forgiving student loans. He never did it. Just like Mamdani, just like Barack Obama, Biden got elected because he put a black woman as vice president, and he promised black women who have the most college debt that he would get rid of their debt. After they went to school, got all these PhDs to shit on other black men, Biden said, black women, we're going to get rid of your debt, and I'm going to make a black woman vice president and help her become president. So they voted for Biden, and then Biden did not get rid of the debt. Biden kept making excuse after excuse, program, and then it went to the Supreme Court. Do you guys know what finally happened with Biden and the student loans is the Supreme Court said, you don't have the power, Biden. It's so much money. The Supreme Court shut down Biden's program to forgive the black woman and all of their education. Now, remember, before this, black women were saying, we're the most educated. We have the most degrees. I know a lot of you don't like race, right? I know a lot of you don't like when I say race, but this was the Democrats. I'm repeating Democrat talking points. The Democrats were saying how great black women are, how they have so many education and so much degrees. Y'all remember the Harvard president debacle? So the Democrats did that. But then they got Kamala Harris with no experience in the vice president. And then they didn't come through on the promises. They didn't come through on the promises. I just wanted to share with you guys my real reasoning for doing what I do. I just wanted to share with you guys my real reasoning for doing what I do. In case you guys just now new here, we're talking about Democratic promises that were not realized. And instead of the promises Democrats have given you, what you're getting instead is increased taxes and an increased inability to live the American dream. Tucker Carlson's talking about it. The Young Turks is talking about it. If you're younger than Gen X, if you're a millennial, you are feeling the crunch, you are feeling the pain, you are feeling the inability to enjoy the American dream. You have been told, if I vote Democrat, and then Democrats come in, Mamdani come in and they say they want to lower prices and lower, and you think that this is going to help you as a millennial enjoy the American dream. Unfortunately, when they get in office, after you vote for them, because they have demonized white men, they have said Republican is white, racist, rich men. They have successfully demonized Republican. They have successfully associated Republican with racist white men. That's why when people see me, they have a brain fart. And so you vote Democrat, but yet and still your station doesn't change. I argue today, your station has gotten increasingly worse ever since the election of Barack Obama. When Barack Obama was elected in 2008, minimum wage was $7.25. It has been stagnant ever since. Under Democratic regimes, I argue not only has your station not changed, it has gotten worse. This is a video about the Barack Obama supported Virginia governor and her brand new list of taxes for 2026. This is what the Democrats are, this is what they want you to vote for, because this is an election year. Gavin Newsom implemented more taxes in California during an election year. Spamberger in Virginia, more taxes during an election year. Mamdani in New York, more taxes during an election year.
Here's a list of the many tax increases and proposals Democrats in Virginia are considering passing. They include additional local sales tax in all Virginia counties and cities, new personal property tax on electric leaf blowers and electric landscaping equipment, large employer tax, gun and ammunition tax, new income tax brackets, a delivery tax. This would hit you if you make an order on Amazon, Uber Eats, or an order that includes UPS, FedEx delivery, etc. here in Northern Virginia. There's also a tax they're looking at for events, concerts, an investment income tax, storage facility tax, gym membership tax, dog walking tax, dog grooming tax, counseling tax, digital personal property tax, new car taxes and highway use fees, an increase in the hotel tax here in Arlington, statewide speed cameras. Now, these aren't taxes, but they would include more.
Can you guys believe that? It's so many. He's going so fast. I'm going to replay it. I'm going to slow it down. How many taxes did you guys hear that? Let's listen to that again. These are all new 2026. Now, people are saying, now think about this. This is all new 2026. We have the tariffs. They said tariffs was a tax. Every Tuesday, I do my Terrific Tuesday. I talk about how tariffs are winning in trade, right? But think about you from a Democratic perspective and how you feel about tariffs. Add that to this.
Here's a list of the many tax increases and proposals Democrats in Virginia are considering passing. They include additional local sales tax in all Virginia counties and cities, new personal property tax on electric leaf blowers and electric landscaping equipment, large employer tax, gun and ammunition tax, new income tax brackets, a delivery tax. This would hit you if you make an order on Amazon, Uber Eats, or an order that includes UPS, FedEx delivery, etc.
Now think about that. Think about that. That since COVID, how do you feel about since COVID? That's your life. I'm a Gen X. I'm an old fart, but I have children. I have nephews and nieces. Do you know? Just like you guys, I get phone calls. Uncle, can you send me $10 for some Uber Eats? Can you send me this? Can you send me an Uber? How many people have sent their nephew, niece, son, or daughter a Uber or money to order food? This is directly hitting you. I'm Gen X. I don't like Uber Eats. I don't trust Uber Eats. When I go out to get my food, I see the Uber Eats driver. I see the DoorDash driver. I can never order DoorDash or Uber Eats, being from Gen X, knowing what I had to do when I worked in fast food, knowing how strict my managers was, right? So I can never eat any of those things, but my kids do. And those of them in college, this is their lifestyle, especially since they were quarantined. So this doesn't really affect Gen X. This doesn't really affect baby boomers. It affects those individuals, those young people who have this new lifestyle, who depend on the gig economy. Now you're going to be now look, this is a two-edged sword. So if you order DoorDash and Uber Eats, you're going to have to pay more. So that means you may be less likely to order DoorDash or Uber Eats. And if you work a gig economy job like DoorDash or Uber Eats, you're going to see your money go down, because now people won't order as much or tip as much because they've increased the taxes. Do you see my math on that? Do you understand how that's a double-edged sword for millennials, Gen Z? Not only will it make your Uber Eats and your DoorDash bill go up, but that will make you unlikely to tip as much, will affect your counterpart, your colleagues, the other people in your generation now who drive because there are no good jobs. They're forced to drive Uber Eats and DoorDash. That means you make less money. Who gets more money? The Democrats. Listen to this.
A delivery tax. This would hit you if you make an order on Amazon, Uber Eats, or an order that includes UPS, FedEx, delivery, etc.
Directly. Who drives for Amazon? Over the Christmas, I seen everybody picking up some Amazon deliveries, right? To get a little extra money. That means you will have less money in your pocket. Thank you, Democrats. Less money to spend on your DoorDash, less money to tip. That means the DoorDash delivery driver will make less money, and so will the UPS Amazon driver. Let's keep going.
Here in Northern Virginia. There's also a tax they're looking at for events, concerts, an investment income tax, storage facility tax, gym membership tax.
So we got gym membership tax despite Obamacare, and Obama supported this Virginia governor despite Obamacare expiring, and we know the correlation between obesity and high blood pressure and the exorbitant medical fees in the country. But fuck it, tax the gym memberships and a dog walking tax. So we don't want you to walk, we don't want you to work out, we just want you to be fat. And come on, you guys, how much of this can you ignore?
Dog walking tax, dog grooming tax, counseling tax, digital personal property tax, new car taxes, and highway use fees.
California with the new car tax and highway use fees. Gavin Newsom, I've heard up to $4,000 simply just to drive in California. That's not counting the new gas taxes and the fact that there are no more oil refineries in California.
An increase in the hotel tax here in Arlington. Statewide speed cameras. Now, these aren't taxes, but they would include more fines for some drivers. Dry cleaning tax, home repair tax, and a vehicle repair tax.
They should really be listening to their constituents a lot more, because these tax increases are going to hurt those who are struggling the most.
Republicans are
No, really? How many times have I said Democrats don't build constituency, right? They don't have committee or policy. And what does a Republican say? Right off the top, a Republican says you need to listen to your constituency. Wow.
Tax, home repair tax, and a vehicle repair tax.
They should really be listening to their constituents a lot more, because these tax increases are going to hurt those who are struggling the most.
Republicans are blasting Virginia Democrats' tax proposals, asking what happened to all their talk about affordability.
They did campaign on affordability, and right now, right out of the gate, that's been the last thing that we've seen. That's been the focus.
7 News is waiting for a response from Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger and leadership in the state Senate and the House of Delegates on how this would make life more affordable for you. We'll put their responses on our homepage, WJLA.com. Reporting in Arlington, Nick Minogue, 7 News.
How this would make life better for you. What a hell of a way to end that report. That was dope. That was a great way to end that expose. He said, I asked the governor and the Democrats, can you explain how all these taxes make life better for the citizens of Virginia? Now, that's just a foundation for this beautiful young man who promised you free buses, free daycare, tax the rich, and instead, today, this is what he announced.
The city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
I can't make this up. This is not AI. You should have heard about it. This is not AI. He promised and promised and promised. Instead, Mamdani is going to raise taxes just like the Virginia governor I just played.
The city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
That's what he always wanted to do. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is applying heavy pressure on Governor Hochul in an election year after unveiling his $127 billion budget proposal, giving Albany an ultimatum. Either approve tax increases on the rich and the corporations, or Mamdani will raise property taxes by nearly 10%.
So that $127 billion budget is $11 billion higher than it was previously. And like I stated before, higher than the entire budget of the state of Florida. Please understand what I'm saying to you today. New York City, the city, has a higher budget than the entire state of Florida. 8 million people in New York, 22 million people in Florida. Florida has one of the most electoral votes when it comes to president. But Mamdani wants to spend more money in New York City. How he's going to spend that money? On racial equity and diversity. Huh? Not less crime, not the daycare, not the buses, racial equity and diversity, DEI hires.
Take us out to explain this, what it means, those two paths, is the co-host of the Big Money Show. She's got a big announcement at the end of this on Fox Business, Jackie DeAngelis.
Good morning.
Jackie, you said this is distressing.
Oh, very distressing. And what I noticed in that soundbite, you guys called it an ultimatum. I'd go as far to call it a threat. And I don't like to see elected officials threatening each other in this way.
Put a one in the chat if you think Zarani Mamdani is threatening the New York people. Put a one in the chat if you feel threatened by the threat of 9.5% property tax. Put a one in the chat.
Hochul's worried about her reelection, and she knows that a tax hike in any way, shape, or form will not be received well by voters. So this isn't just about her winning. It's that people don't want it, and he doesn't get that message.
But he'll probably do it if she wins, and Bruce Blakeman, she'll probably do it anyway, just like the whole congestion pricing thing, which she's sure she wouldn't do.
And it was debacle.
So let's break this down. Option one, number one, tax the wealthy. Raise the taxes already on corporations. We're already one of the most unattractive tax states in the country. Can only be approved by the state government. That's where Kathy Hochul comes in, but so does the legislature. And the Governor Hochul has insisted she isn't in favor of that, but she's already given a little bit on child care too.
Yes. And what she's trying to do is the reasonable, sensible thing. But that's when he pivots and he says, okay, if you don't give me what I want, here's what I'm going to do. And this is what is distressing, because this ends up hurting the people, many of them that he proposed that he would help with affordability, because
it's not me. I just reiterate this shit. I just reiterate it, but MAGA knows the climate. Conservatives, we told you. We told you. I was right. I was right. I was right.
Because this ends up hurting the people, many of them that he proposed that he would help with.
Say it again. That beautiful dress.
Here's what I'm going to do. And this is what is distressing, because this ends up hurting the people, many of them that he proposed that he would help with.
Oh, is that right? Hope and change. Free buses, free trains, free healthcare, free daycare, rent freezes, tax the rich, and instead, shit.
Affordability, because these 3 million homes that are going to get hit with this real estate tax, these are not all millionaires. These are a lot of very normal people that will end up not being able to afford to live here. They will flee the city, and the problem gets worse.
Is that the goal? chat. One of my chat is so intelligent on top of everything. My chat already called it out. That's the goal. That is the goal. It happened in California. How many people left California? It happened in California. The goal is for you to leave New York City and leave it for the rich liberal Democrats, the rich left-wing millionaires like AOC, right? That's the goal, so they can go to their museums, go to their sex freak parties. The goal is for you to leave New York City. 500,000, hundreds of thousands left California. No California policy changes. No changes saying that we're going to make policy changes to get people to come back to California. What will we do to make people more attractive? No. Gavin Newsom this year raised taxes more. That will make people leave California even more. You have to come to the conclusion that it is by design. My chat already said. They want you to leave. They want you to leave New York. They want you to leave New York. Thank you to that person in the chat. 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 That is the design. That is the goal. That is the design. That is the goal. It happened in New York. They're doing the same thing in Virginia. They're doing the same thing in California. Just a fact of the matter. Just a fact of the matter. Just giving you guys the fact of the matter. Let's have some good. Somebody said this is Fox News. We better than Fox News, baby. We better than Fox News, baby. We better than Fox News, baby. Double tap it. Double tap it the like button. I need more likes, man. We better than Fox News. Let me bring you some more entertainment. Watch my boy try to keep from laughing. Look at these liberal Democrats making a fool of themselves. And this is what you want. Not for me, baby. MAGA all the way. Double hashtag MAGA in the chat. Let me get a super chat. I need some super chats. Hashtag MAGA in the chat. Red, white, and blue. Whoa, that MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. Red wave 26. Red wave 28. Red wave 26. Red wave. And you want to know why? This video is evidence of why we got a red wave. Because you're dealing with
law enforcement, which is what this says the entire time. This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people.
Instead of police. It's not funny, but Nancy Guthrie is missing. I'm going to talk about Tucson today. I'm going to talk about something that they haven't told you about Tucson and the crime in border cities. Tucson is an hour away from the Mexican-American border. How many people knew that? This whole time we've been talking about Nancy Guthrie missing. Tucson is on the border. And most border cities deal with high levels of crime and a certain type of crime. The Democrats say, we don't want to spend money on police. Democrats say, fuck the police, spend the money on LGBTQ. And I'm not making it up. Listen closely. While 84-year-old white women go missing, and I'm going to show you reports of a Mexican gang in Texas. You know what this Mexican gang in Texas does? They just got arrested today. A Mexican gang in Texas has been going door to door in affluent white neighborhoods, stealing and breaking into homes. I'll save the rest for later. I'll save the rest for later.
Here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This is from...
You don't even know. Somebody come on, tell me in my chat, what is two-spirit? I'm going to look it up on Google, but somebody in the chat might know. What is two-spirit? Let's go.
Sexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
What is you say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in two-spirit community programs that acknowledge two-spirit.
Look, we are not going to discriminate
what is that?
We're not going to discriminate against.
I love my job. Oh man, because you know I got a lot of baby boomers who watch me and they don't know. Let's define two-spirit. Two-spirit is having dual or non-binary gender agenda. Does everybody see that? Gender identity. Having dual or non-binary gender identity. Does everybody see that? Does everybody see that? I just want to give you some context. I would not lead you down the road. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's in shock. He's in shock. He like this, you guys. He look like Home Alone. He's like. So you say you don't want to give police the money to protect the people, but instead you want to give money to Two-Spirit, and no one knows what a Two-Spirit individual is. I love my job. Double tap hit the like button. Super chat, Cash App, support the channel, become a member, hit the plus sign when you subscribe. Subscribe, hit the plus sign. Subscribe, hit the plus sign. And if you're being entertained, if you are being entertained, hit the like button. Thank you.
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some.
Led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, Two-Spirit, trans, and gender non-conforming people. What's Two-Spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This
here.
is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
What is you say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in Two-Spirit community programs that acknowledge Two-Spirit.
Look, we are not going to discriminate
what is that?
We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit. That
What is
to
a
help us
Two-Spirit?
prevent violence in
What
our
is
community.
Two-Spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for Two-Spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I honestly, I'm not completely aware of the language or
You
the
wrote the
spirit of how that was
report?
written. But what I'm telling you is that what is
a
advocate for-
Two-Spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your policymakers' playbook. You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views.
Well,
You don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for Two-Spirit individuals. What is a Two-Spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about reducing
Oh, no, sir.
violence.
You're looking at somebody who's
Also-
reading.
You want to know why the Democrats is doing? I can't make this up. He asked a simple question. I went to Google. I looked it up. He wrote that, and he don't even know what it is. Right? Oh my God. Is this the best podcast? Double tap, hit the like button, and you want to know why the Democrats won't win. Because did you hear what he said? The biggest part about what he said that I'm taking away is that the Democrats chose this man. Listen, you guys, the Democrats chose this man who cannot intelligently articulate and answer questions. Doesn't it remind you of Kamala Harris? He's not there by accident. The DNC picked him to be there to testify, and he cannot answer the questions. This is why I am saying the things I'm saying about the election in 2026 and 2028. The Democrats put him there. He's not there by accident. He's not there by volunteer. He was chosen like Kamala was chosen. An incompetent, unintelligible fool who's being used by the Democratic Party, just like Jasmine Crockett.
Approach is
that
defunding
law
the
enforcement
police,
is a
which
part
is
of
what
the
this
ecosystem
says.
the entire time.
This is so typical of what the Democrats do now after your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans. Now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, Two-Spirit, trans, and gender non-conforming people. What's Two-Spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
What is you say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in Two-Spirit community programs that acknowledge Two-Spirit.
Look, we are not going to discriminate
what is that?
We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit that
What
wants
is
to
a
help us
Two-Spirit?
prevent violence in
What
our
is
community.
Two-Spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for Two-Spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I honestly, I'm not completely aware of the language or
You
the
wrote the
spirit of how that was
report?
written. But what I'm telling you is that what is
a Two-Spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your policymakers' playbook. You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views.
Well,
you don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for Two-Spirit individuals. What is a Two-Spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about
Oh,
reducing
no, sir.
violence.
You're looking at somebody who's
You're also
reading you
speaking
your
out
own
against
words, and I'd
violence
like to
through
hear an
intervention
answer.
programs.
Here's the answer. The answer is you don't have any solutions. You want to invest in gobbledygook and take away money from police officers who actually keep our communities safe, and when you're called on the record, you deny it.
Facts. Woo! You want to take away money from our officers from gobbledygook, and when you go out on the record, you can't answer the damn question. How about that? And children dying in the street. 84-year-old woman is getting kidnapped, and he want to take away money. He want to take away money. I said 84-year-old women are getting kidnapped, and he want to take away money. I did a hell of a show yesterday. I did a hell of a show on Nancy Guthrie. On Nancy Guthrie and her being missing. And you know what I said? I said this is a crew of individuals who frequent this neighborhood, who feel so comfortable and brazen. I said elderly people travel to Arizona. Elderly people travel to Florida. They're called snowbirds. I said we have a problem in this Tucson. I looked it up. Tucson's a border town, an hour away from the border. Tucson has 600 police officers and 500,000 citizens. Tucson is plagued with crime. Tucson is plagued with crime. How many people knew that Tucson is plagued with crime? Cartels, Centinela cartels. How many people knew that? I knew that. But let me play this video. Breaking news, illegal alien South American theft group linked to 60+ home burglaries in Houston in a matter of just weeks. The Democratic Party mass imported these criminals and have now shut down DHS to abolish ICE and stop deportations. This is democratic terrorism. So what I am proposing to you, and this is what I said yesterday on my Nancy Guthrie story. I said, after I looked at several videos of individuals in this neighborhood with Nancy Guthrie, different people, we seen different people on porches at 2 o'clock in the morning stealing in this neighborhood. They're not afraid of police. We saw one guy with 2 backpacks full of stolen goods, tried to steal more from another home, couldn't get in, and he just walks casually down the street. Imagine living in the neighborhood where criminals are walking casually down the street with backpacks full of stolen goods. I said, this is a crew. No one listened. I said, this is a crew. I said, the reason the DNA didn't come back is because this crew is probably from across the border, came over here during the Biden-Kamala Harris eras. I said, the cultural aspect, there's a cultural aspect to Nancy Guthrie. What is the cultural aspect? Black and white criminals don't kidnap, and black and white criminals don't kidnap with this level of proficiency and success. How many people, when the last time you heard of some white boy biker gang, because they got white boy biker gangs in Arizona and California. When the last time you heard of some white boys or some black boys kidnapping someone? Now, add on this. When the last time you heard of them kidnapping them with success? We hear about people getting kidnapped, and I went to the FBI database. Guess what the FBI said? The FBI database said you're correct. The FBI, because I said the FBI should have took over Nancy Guthrie a long time ago. The FBI has the background on kidnappings. Guess what the FBI said about kidnappings? Yeah, you're right. Americans don't really kidnap like that. They do other forms of crime. What do we know about Tren de Aragua, TDA? What do we know about the cartel gangs that came across during Biden in America, Biden and Kamala Harris? Part of their modus operandi, part of how they get down is kidnapping and extortion. If you go to the FBI and you look up Centinela cartel, Tren de Aragua, and you look up what do, they traffic in kids, kidnapping, and extortion and drugs. In Tucson, Arizona specifically, there is a fight. Not only is it crime and not only is it cartel and Mexicans, but in Tucson, there are fighting fractions because Tucson is a conduit. I didn't know this till I did my research, but there's movies on Tucson. Tucson is a conduit for the children, the child traffic trade, for the prostitution trade, and for the drug trade. So they use Tucson to get things up from the border an hour away into the United States, and they are fighting currently in Tucson, Arizona, when Nancy Guthrie was taken. They are fighting illegal Mexican cartel gangs over this transportation route. Hard Dog said, never, never, never do they kidnap for ransom. Only cartels. Hard Dog. Not only that, but every movie, every story that you watch on true crime, the Americans get caught because they don't know how to do ransom. In this kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, they have a digital footprint, but the FBI can't track the email. What type of technical proficiency do you need? It sounds like Africans, right? Who fish, who send your grandmother emails and they can't track it. So if an American had kidnapped a white woman and then sent emails to TMZ, they would have been able to track the VPN, the IP. They would have been able to locate where that email came from. But international scammers, international cartels, they know how to use ghosts. The gang members who are doing this, they use signal jammers. Think about the email. A lot of people are not breaking down. Okay, what about the digital footprint? What about the digital footprint? If an American kidnapped a grandmother, how would he know how to successfully send these emails and manage a digital Bitcoin account without getting caught? The only people who know how to do that are people who don't live in America, who do that for their living. There are people who fish, who know about these fishing scams. This is what they do for a living in Mexico, in South America, in Africa. They send emails to America and siphon money out of Americans, and we're unable to track them. They have, remember the boat that we got, the oil tanker? That boat had a special technology that hid the GPS away from satellites in the Navy. I'm just giving you the foundation. I'm just giving you the foundation. So I said in Tucson, Arizona, we have a problem with cartels and crime, and we only have 600 police. I said in Tucson, Arizona, in the Nancy Guthrie neighborhood, it looks like to me, because we have several videos at 2 o'clock in the morning of the same type of crime, that there is a crew of individuals who have focused on this neighborhood and who have been successfully stealing in this neighborhood. They stole a package from Nancy's porch. They learned who she was. They watched the house, and then they took Nancy. Now, to support my argument, I found an arrest being made today in Texas of a Mexican gang in Texas that is doing the same modus operandi that I put forth is happening in Tucson. So when I said this on my show yesterday, I didn't know about this arrest in Texas. When I said this in my show yesterday, I did not know about this gang in Texas who have focused on home invasions. But I knew that's what happened in Tucson because it was obvious. Now we have a similar gang in Texas that have just got arrested. And you're only going to hear about this here. You're not going to hear about, that's why you should like, share, subscribe. And let me read that super chat. I just had a super chat. Let me read that super chat. Yeah, Hard Dog, I read it out. Shout out to Hard Dog. Now listen to this arrest.
We obtained a search warrant that outlines a lot of this new information after burglars allegedly moved a table up against a West University home, then climbed up onto a second-floor balcony, broke in, and stole more than $500,000 worth of jewelry and watches. West University Place police say those tactics used by the burglars are consistent with the South American theft group, now linked to more than 60 home burglaries in our region. In this case, investigators say the suspects drove to that break-in using a rented car, and to rent the car, police say the suspect used a fake ID from Argentina, but facial recognition technology and help from the FBI revealed his real identity to be a man from Chile. He's now in custody related to that fake ID while investigators pore over his cell phone data. Now, this group is known for its brazenness. The FBI says sometimes sending their stolen goods back to Chile or Colombia Colombia. The suspects either enter the U.S. illegally or overstay their visas, according to the FBI, and frequently use rental cars, fake IDs.
Overstay their visas. Somebody put a pin in that, because I'm going to come back to that, because that has a lot to do with what the ICE agents are doing in the deportation orders that I've educated you about. Overstayed their visas.
And multiple burner phones.
When choosing which homes to break into, these groups gravitate towards expensive homes with surroundings like golf courses, parks, or walking trails, features that can make it easier for would-be thieves to sneak in. They use a combination of internet research, surveillance, and commercially available camera and tracking technologies to scope out their targets. When they decide to strike, they tend to break into homes through their back windows or glass doors, preferably on the second floor of a residence. And once inside, they mainly look to steal jewelry and designer accessories, frequently leaving other expensive items behind.
So this group targets all kinds of people, according to the FBI, not just pro athletes or wealthy business owners. Tonight, that Chilean national arrested does have an ICE hold. He's in the Harris County jail, but he has not been charged with any burglary-related crimes. And so far, it does not appear anyone else has been charged in connection to all of this. Again, a lot of this new information we're learning comes from a search warrant. That means an investigation is still underway.
That they have high tech and they look for certain homes, and these are Mexicans from across the border, and they're taking the stuff back to Chile, and they're brazen. What have we seen so far in the Nancy Guthrie case? Brazen individuals, right? Double tap hit the like button. I mean, today is one of those days, baby girl. Baby girl, what's your name? I got y'all licked though. I got y'all licked. Y'all not gonna beat me. Y'all not gonna beat me. I'm the winner in this. I'm the winner in this. You can't beat me. I'm gonna tell you straight up, you can't beat me. Now, you guys heard what I just reported about the arrest of the Mexican gang in Texas. You heard their modus operandi. You heard what they look for. This is aerial footage of Nancy Guthrie's home and surrounding area. Doesn't this look like perfect for what we just heard? Isn't this perfect? Isn't this where a similar gang would operate? Isn't this where similar Mexican, this is an hour away. It's the perfect scenario. This is what they look for, right? This is an hour away from the border. Let's bring it back up. Let's bring it back up. We might have to listen to it again. We might have to listen to it again. Cause it's so important, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. We might have to listen to that again. It's too important. It's too important. You can't miss it.
We obtained a search warrant that outlines a lot of this new information after burglars allegedly moved a table up against a West University home, then climbed up onto a second floor balcony, broke in, and stole more than $500,000 worth of jewelry and watches. West University Police say those tactics used by the burglars are consistent with the South American theft group, now linked to more than 60 home burglaries in our region. And
so at one house, y'all gotta think about this. Nancy Guthrie, her daughter's worth $40 million. Y'all see that house? Y'all see that neighborhood? You see the pool? You see how nice this neighborhood is? In one house, they were able to get $500,000 worth of jewelry and stolen goods. That's the incentive that they have. That's the incentive that they have.
in this case, investigators say the suspects drove to that break-in using a rented car. And to rent the car, police say the suspect used a fake ID from Argentina. But facial recognition technology and help from the FBI revealed his real identity to be a man from Chile.
So this is telling us how Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped. He said that they got a car with a fake ID. Remember, in the Democratic sanctuary states, they're giving these guys driver's license and CDLs. So in California, Colorado, they can get driver's license and CDLs. So they rented a car with a fake ID. This is just how, because they didn't take Nancy Guthrie away on a bicycle, everybody. Everybody listening, we're talking about a Mexican gang, a Chilean gang who has stole millions of dollars in Texas, focusing on home invasions in wealthy, rich area. And Nancy Guthrie was in a wealthy, rich area with elderly white people, and it had the perfect layout and an hour away from the border. Listen to this, man. They are telling you what and how happened to Nancy Guthrie.
Say the suspect used a fake ID from Argentina, but facial recognition technology and help from the FBI revealed his real identity to be a man from Chile. He's now in custody related to that fake ID while investigators pore over his cell phone data. Now, this group is known for its brazenness. The FBI says sometimes sending their stolen goods back to Chile or Colombia. The suspects either enter the U.S. illegally or overstay their visas, according to the FBI, and frequently use rental cars, fake IDs, and multiple burner phones.
When choosing which homes to break into, these groups gravitate towards expensive homes with surroundings like golf courses, parks, or walking trails.
All right, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Now, this is Nancy Guthrie's home from an aerial view and neighborhood. Isn't this what they would look for? Isn't this what they would look for, ladies and gentlemen? And don't keep in mind, this is an hour away from the Mexican-American border. The gloves have not come back with any DNA. What do y'all think, man? Look at what I'm showing you, brothers and sisters. Look at what I'm showing you. And look at what the report is saying. Where do they look for? What do they look for in what neighborhoods?
Heat towards expensive homes with surroundings like golf courses, parks, or walking trails. Features that can make it easier for would-be thieves to sneak in.
Did y'all hear that? What does this look like? What does this look like? Now, we've seen several videos from this neighborhood where criminals walk around all night and don't fear that the police will stop them, catch them, or even take their stolen goods. Criminals go from house to house with backpacks full of stolen goods in this neighborhood. This is the neighborhood that they would pick. This is the neighborhood, and is the neighborhood where they were stealing and she got kidnapped from.
They use a combination of internet research, surveillance, and commercially available camera and tracking technologies to scope out their targets.
They use a combination of internet research. Why is this important? Because a lot of people keep wondering, how did they know who Nancy Guthrie was? How did they know who Nancy Guthrie was? I don't know no one else breaking this down to you. I mean, if this is not a modus operandi, how do they know who Nancy Guthrie was, and why would they know that they can get $6 million? She just told you.
They use a combination of internet research, surveillance, and commercially available camera and tracking technologies to scope out their targets. When they decide to strike, they tend to break into homes through their back windows or glass doors, preferably on the second floor of a residence. And once inside, they mainly look to steal jewelry and designer accessories, frequently leaving other expensive items behind.
So this group targets all kinds of people, according to the FBI, not just pro athletes or wealthy business owners. Tonight, that Chilean national arrested does have an ICE hold. He's in the Harris County jail, but he has not been charged with any burglary-related crimes. And so far, it does not appear anyone else has been charged in connection to all of this. Again, a lot of this new information we're learning comes from a search warrant. That means an investigation is still underway.
This powerful information right here. This powerful information right here. This powerful information right here. I hope the FBI is listening. I know they've been listening. My wife told me that they've been looking for the backpacks. The problem is they're looking for receipts for the backpacks. I said a criminal wouldn't purchase a backpack. It's just like in this report, they used a fake ID to rent a car. Someone who would use a fake ID to rent a car would not purchase the backpack, right? I'm going to use a fake ID to rent the car. Then I'm going to go to Walmart and use my real ID to purchase the backpack. No, the backpacks are being stolen from Walmart, right? And now we know how they know who Nancy Guthrie was. It's part of the modus operandi of the crew. They stalk these houses. They check social media. I've said all along that they stole a package from that porch. They stole a package from Nancy's porch and they knew her name. They went on social media, they looked her up, found out her daughter's net worth, and that's why you get the $6 million ransom. Another reason why they kidnapped her is because they had the time and the opportunity. Somebody in the chat just put in a very funny comment. I almost blocked him, but I'm going to highlight it because it's so stupid, it's funny, right? This comment right here is so stupid, it's funny. How would they get her across the border? They have to go through border control. This comment is so stupid, it's funny, but it points out a lot of why she's been missing and why crime is the way it is in America. Because most people are this dumb. Most people are this dumb. Drugs, so cocaine, fentanyl, it's just so dumb. These are the same people that's getting cocaine, hundreds of tons, metric tons of cocaine, metric tons of fentanyl, marijuana, prostitutes, and child trafficking across the border. Do you think that that's going through the border patrol? You think they bring the cocaine through the border and go through the check gate and then show their ID and say, hi, I'm a Mexican. I came to America to sell cocaine. I came to America to sell cocaine. I have 300 kilos of cocaine in the back of my truck. May I enter America, please? That's what the fuck you think is happening? And every year, I mean, for the past 50 years, these motherfuckers bring in metric tons of cocaine, and that's your answer to everything I've worked hard on, all of my research. I mean, even if you're gonna troll, say something better. That's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid, it's funny. That's what you say? That's no thought at all as to the reality of what we're living in America. That cocaine has taken over the American streets. Fentanyl, all coming from South. This is why Trump, this is why MAGA and conservative media champion Trump going to get Maduro in Venezuela and blowing up that cocaine plant and blowing up 30 drug boats and killing 107 drug dealers because the drug boats don't go to the border patrol. This motherfucker. This stupid motherfucker. That's what the drug boat was doing in the middle of the night. Dumb. That's what the drug boat was doing in the middle of the night. Remember the drug boat that got blown up with 13 motherfucking gang members and 100 keys of cocaine, and they blew it up, and then the drug dealers climbed back on the boat and tried to save the motherfucking cocaine? I said the two drug dealers that was not blown up by SEAL Team 6 climbed back on the boat and tried to save the motherfucking cocaine. You think they were on their way to the border patrol, motherfucker? No. That high-speed boat that was traveling at over 100 knots, boom, like Miami Vice, boom, with 13 motherfucking Tren de Aragua gangsters and 100 keys of cocaine at 2 o'clock in the morning in the middle of the night, boom, coming toward the American coast. And SEAL Team 6 said, what the fuck is they doing? Where is they going? In the Southcom region, boom, SEAL Team 6 blew their ass up out the goddamn water because they was not headed to border patrol. They was not headed to a checkpoint. So Nancy Guthrie did not go through a checkpoint, you stupid. Oh, Nancy Guthrie did not go through a checkpoint. Now, when I say an hour away from the Mecca, do y'all know it ain't no wall on the Mexican-American border an hour away from Tucson? It ain't no wall. You just walk and you in Mexico. It ain't no wall across the entire border, homeboy. Some parts of the Mexican-American border, you just walk and you in Mexico. Do you see the house? Let me show the house again, because you can't help some idiots. The house, it looks like they in Mexico already. It looked like she live in Mexico already. To some Mexicans, you know when Mexicans be on their hotep shit and they say, you know when some Mexicans be on their hotep shit and they be saying, I'm Indian and all this bullshit. And they say, y'all stole, y'all know about California. Y'all know about Zorro, right? Y'all know about Zorro. You know about the Mexican-American wars, huh? You know about the Alamo? You probably don't know because y'all just like trolling. But don't this look like Mexico? Don't this look like this is an hour away? Some socialist communists would argue this is Mexico. It's literally a hop, skip, and a jump from what they call Mexico. This once was a time. You have Baja California, you have Tijuana. This once upon a time was Mexico. There is no fucking wall between Tucson, Arizona. It's just dirt. You just walk and you're in Mexico. Hard Dog said, and I responded to that comment, the cartel have billions at their disposal. They can pay off any border patrol. It's not even. Thank you. It is Mexico. I mean, it's kind of like if you live, I used to live in San Francisco and Daly City. At certain times you're in San Francisco and certain times you're in Daly City. Outside the pool looks like Mexico. You don't even know when you're in Daly City. It's like that in Oakland too. Sometimes you're in Oakland, sometimes you're in Berkeley. If you cross the street on Shattuck, you might be in Berkeley, you might be in Oakland, right? There is no line or wall that says this is Berkeley, this is Oakland. In some places, it's like that. My brother lived in Daly City. So in some places, you in Daly City, and across the street in Daly City, this is San Francisco. There is no wall. They didn't have to bring her across, none of that, bro. It wasn't even difficult. I'm trying to tell you, in this location where Nancy Guthrie was taken from, it wasn't even difficult. It wasn't even difficult, brother. I'm just sharing with you something. And this ain't even a full Nancy Guthrie update. This ain't even a full Nancy Guthrie update. I just found this information that supported my argument from yesterday's show. I'm doing my research today on my MAGA conservative shit. I'm doing my MAGA conservative shit, and I come across the fact that they have arrested a motherfucking gang in Texas of illegal motherfucking migrants who purposely focusing on homes, purposely use the internet. I said, these is the same motherfuckers in Tucson. These are the same motherfuckers in Tucson. I said it, but now this is not a coincidence. I don't even believe in coincidences. My grandmother didn't believe in God. We didn't believe in coincidences. This is not no coincidence, y'all. It's too similar. It's too similar. It's not a coincidence. It's too similar. This is how crime investigations are done. You look for familiarity, similarities. This is how good crime work. This is how people get caught. This is how good investigations are done. You look for a similar MO. Remember in any movie you see about a mass murderer or killer, what do they start off? They want to find out, what is this guy? How does he do it? Jeffrey Dahmer. What does he do? Well, Jeffrey Dahmer would go out on dates. He would kill black men. It's so important. You know, in my chat, I get picked on. Every time I bring up race, someone says some stupid shit. But it's relevant, especially if you're building a modus operandi and you want to catch the killer. Who is he killing? He's killing black men. Oh, okay. How does he find the black men? He does this. So if we can figure out who is the victim, if the victim are black men, black gay men, this narrows it down. We're going to be able to find this guy. Do you see how it works? You see how it works? Oh, he's killing black men. Oh, he's killing gay black men. Well, in this city, there's only 2 gay black clubs. I bet you if we go stake out those black gay clubs, we might find the motherfucker killing gay black men. That's just how it goes. That's not hard. That's not, you see how quickly we got there? Oh, we're having a murder where he's killing a bunch of people. Okay, who's being killed specifically? Oh, okay. He's killing black men. Okay, what else? They're gay. Why didn't you fucking say that? Because if he's specifically killing gay black men, that narrows down my search. It makes it easier for me as an investigator to find out if we want to find the motherfucker. Maybe you just want to let him kill people. But if you want to find them, if you want to find Nancy Guthrie, y'all hear me? If you want to find Nancy Guthrie, then it fucking matters. That's how you find Jeffrey Dahmer. Who's he killing? He's killing black men. Oh, he's killing gay black men. Is the murderer gay? We think so. This narrows down the search. Who did they kidnap? A white woman, a rich white woman from this type of area. Oh, this narrows down the criminals who may have done the job. The more and more I add this up, it's going to one of these Mexican cartel type groups. It's the same thing with Jeffrey Dahmer. He killed black men. They were gay black men. He was gay. Okay, where would this person eat, drink, shit, fuck? That's all it comes down to. And they found him. They found him. They found him. If you look at what I just presented, it's the same thing with Nancy Guthrie. It's the same thing with Nancy Guthrie. And this is what the liberal, everybody listening, do you know why? Do you know why they're ignoring this? Conservatives know. Do you know why they're ignoring these obvious, blaring realities? Because the locals in Tucson do not want Trump and the federal government to deploy ICE in the same way it was deployed in Minnesota, in Washington, D.C., Illinois, and California. The local sheriff is refusing to work with the federal government because if the feds show up in Tucson, they are going to be fucking shitting bricks. It's not just about an 85-year-old woman. You motherfuckers, what the fuck are you guys got going on in Tucson? What the fuck? Are you telling me they're trafficking children through Tucson? Are you telling me you trafficking drugs? What the fuck are you guys doing down here? That's why this case is going the way it's going. Because I've researched Tucson. The crime in Tucson is fucking insane. I had to keep digging. I said, well, why is crime in Tucson so high? And you know what I found out? Crime in Tucson is so high because they're dealing with the remnants of the Biden-Harris open border policy. Tucson is an hour away from the Mexican-American border. And it has been a central location where people have centralized locations and efforts. You know, gangs have outposts. They do business in a lot of places, but they have one place that they have a central. Tucson is great for these gangs because it's in America. It's close enough to Phoenix and LA, but it's also close enough to Mexico. It's a jump off point. I didn't know this. You probably don't know this about Tucson, Arizona. You just heard Nancy Guthrie and Savannah Guthrie and missing, but you didn't realize what Tucson was. Tucson is a jump off point. If we can get the dope to Tucson, we can get it to LA. We can get it to Chicago. If we can get the prostitutes to Tucson, if we can get the child trafficking to Tucson, if we can get the fentanyl to Tucson, then we can distribute it throughout the United States. Is anybody fucking listening? Is anybody fucking listening? If we can get to Tucson, then we can distribute. And so Tucson is dealing with, Tucson is, a lot of people don't know what's going on. A lot of people just heard about Nancy Guthrie. A lot of people, I'm the podcast host. I do the research. I'm telling you what's going on. You got to go to work. You got to go to school. You got to go take a shit. You ain't got time to do all this research. I did the research. I'm doing the research for you. I'm telling you. It's not only crime and homelessness and fucking fentanyl in Tucson. You have something called a snowbird. Does anybody know what a snowbird is? Now, keep in mind what I've taught you. I've taught you about all of the crime and that the perfect scenario for the crime. Do you know what a snowbird is? I lived in Arizona. Arizona, we have something called snowbirds. They have them in Florida too. So elderly people who live in the snow, in the Midwest where it snows, if they have enough money, they have a vacation home in either Arizona or Florida. And when it gets cold in Minnesota, they fly to Arizona and they live there 6 months out the year. They fly, no, it's not about drugs. They fly to Florida and they live there 6 months out the year. So you have an elderly population, a vulnerable, wealthy, elderly population, higher than most states. Like if you go to school in Arizona, we make jokes about these people because they make our lives horrible. When they come down, they drive slow, they get in our way, they're rude. They change the whole culture. Imagine 1 million old people coming into your city. It changes the whole culture of the city. And they all got money. They got big Cadillacs. They got retirement. They own house. They got 2 houses. Imagine this type of people, elderly, wealthy people. They have a house in the Midwest, but it's snowing. And then they come to Arizona to fuck with everybody. I'm not trying to put down the snowbirds. I'm just educating you that now add in Mexican cartels, add in an hour away from the border, and then add in this vulnerable population. 80 years old, 70 years old, wealthy, in a house by themselves for 6 months. They don't even live there the whole year. Imagine being someone who robs houses and figures out that all these wealthy white Americans only come here half of the year. I'll wait. I'll wait. Yeah, traffic gets fucked up. Imagine being in a Mexican gang. Now think about this. Biden opened the border. The snowbird is not new. What's new is 10 million new immigrants. What's new is on the conservative side, we say 20 million came across in 2022, 2023. So the difference is we have an influx of millions of people who are not culturally acclimated. Think about it. Who are not culturally acclimated to American culture, that we love and respect our elders. We would never kidnap an 84-year-old woman. We would not go to Arizona, and we look at those type of criminals. You know, if you go to jail for robbing old people in Arizona, if you go to jail for robbing old people in Florida, you're going to get fucked up in prison. Somebody's going to fuck you up because they might think you robbed their grandmother. So culturally, they're not acclimated to American culture, where Americans would never kidnap an 84-year-old grandmother, and you don't get respect for that. If you get arrested, just think if you're American and you've kidnapped an 85-year-old woman and you get arrested and go to jail. Every American knows, because it's culturally acceptable, you're getting your ass kicked when you get to jail. These individuals who came across under the Biden-Harris, they don't think like that. They don't give a fuck about this white woman. They don't give a fuck about this old white woman. They don't give a fuck about our cultural norms in America. They kidnapped this bitch and asked for $6 million. They didn't give a fuck. I'm telling you guys, I know you don't like it. Never. 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 I just got to tell you these facts, y'all. And now, after I said this yesterday, but God is so good that today we found the story of a gang being arrested in Texas doing the exact same scenario that I put forth is happening in Tucson. Now, I didn't know that would happen, but that's what happened today, that we found a gang in Texas. They got arrested in one house. They got $500,000. Just for people thinking like, why are they doing this? In one house, they got $500,000. In one house. That's just a fact. So they've been making a lot of money doing this shit. So let's go to Jasmine Crockett. Y'all want to talk about Jasmine Crockett? Let's get into Jasmine Crockett, y'all. We talked about Zarani Mamdani. We showed you him raising the taxes and shit. We showed you him raising the taxes and shit. But another thing that came about is Jasmine Crockett had got her wake-up call. But you know what I've been noticing? Everybody is so happy. You know, I'm a black MAGA. I'm a black conservative. And what I see is so many people happy when they keep saying, oh, you're going to get your wake-up call. Like black people can't be Republican. And if you're black and you're Republican, something bad is going to happen to you, right? And what do I keep seeing? In Virginia, nope, that's not what happened. The Democrats threw the black woman under the bus. Jasmine Crockett, black woman getting thrown under the bus. So where are all of the Democrats that keep hoping that I get this wake-up call, right? That because I'm Republican, I'm going to get this wake-up call. What really happened is Jasmine Crockett got a wake-up call. She thought she was the belle of the ball. They dressed her up like a pig with lipstick. A weem away, a weem away, a weem away, a weem away. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, Jasmine sleeps tonight. A weem away, a weem away, a weem, like a pig with lipstick. She was on Stephen Colbert how many times? Yellow, big old, ugly outfit, big old lips, acting a damn fool. So check this out. Can we lay a foundation? Jasmine Crockett got on a plane. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. My name is Jasmine, I'm insane. I lost my seat and then reclaim. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. My name is Jasmine, I'm insane. I lost my seat to no reclaim. So Jasmine Crockett was one of those 5 seats that got redistricted by Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott challenged by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, yay, Greg Abbott can redistrict. No one ever unpacked that story, just like no one ever unpacked Nancy Guthrie's story. Well, what happened with Jasmine Crockett in those 5 seats? Why was Jasmine Crockett so excited? Why Jasmine Crockett got on the plane? Why did Jasmine Crockett go to Illinois and say, this is Donald Trump trying to change the elections? No one ever asked. I did my research. Do you know why Jasmine Crockett was so vocal and adamant during this time? It was her seat. Yeah, brothers and sisters. One of the 5 seats that Greg Abbott redistricted, and basically, Greg Abbott and Donald Trump fired Jasmine Crockett. Greg Abbott and Donald Trump, Greg Abbott, governor of Texas, just in case you don't know who the fuck I'm talking about, Greg Abbott and President Trump fired Jasmine Crockett. Now it makes sense, don't it? Why she was so excited about these 5 seats. It was her seat. Bye-bye, I'll make you go. Bye-bye, I'll make you go. Bye-bye. So Jasmine Crockett lost her seat. She's not going to run for Congress in Dallas, South Dallas. She's not even from Dallas. That's another day. She from East St. Louis. The bitch is from St. Louis. She's not even from Dallas. She's not even from Dallas. She's from St. Louis. That's a show. That's another topic for another day. Why was she even in Dallas grifting? They call me a grifter. Why was she even in Dallas grifting? She ain't from Dallas. She went to Rutgers College. So why was she even in Dallas? I don't know. She ain't from Dallas. She went to Rutgers College, $75,000 a year. Jasmine Crockett got $1 million education. So Jasmine Crockett is forced to run for Senate because she got fired by Greg Abbott and Donald Trump. Texas hasn't sent a Democrat to the Senate in over 30 years. Jasmine Crockett thinks I'm going to go to the Democratic deep state, my liberal friends who have all the power in media. Wah, wah, wah. Stephen Colbert and the DNC just threw Jasmine Crockett under the bus. Perfect Time Podcast back with the blast. #1 podcast on YouTube. Double tap at the like button. #1 podcast on YouTube. This is my buddy Scott Jennings, and he is going to break down. We thought late night shows were supposed to be funny. Stephen Colbert says Trump FCC censored his interview with candidate from the U.S. Senate James Tallarico. Instead, Colbert put it on YouTube, where it is getting millions of views. CBS says they didn't censor it, citing that the FCC rule of equal time. Even Democrat Republican Jasmine Crockett says it's probably gave my opponent the boost he was looking for. When you're so far gone that even Jasmine Crockett is correcting you, you know you're in trouble. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Which one do I want to go to? Let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. 2 white guys collude and lie to harm political ambitions of an African-American woman. Sounds scandalous, right? Let me tell you the story. Oh, and everyone involved is a Democrat. Oh, that MAGA. Oh, that MAGA. Can't make this shit up, man. Cannot make this shit up, man. I love my job.
White Democrats colluding to lie to you, all to hurt Jasmine Crockett. Let's listen to Jasmine Crockett. I can't believe it. I'm taking up for Jasmine Crockett. She's clearly been wronged here. I have to tell you a story this afternoon about 2 white guys who are colluding to hurt the political career of an African-American woman. It's a sad story. It's a tragic story. The 2 white males are named Stephen Colbert and James Tallarico, and the African-American woman is named Jasmine Crockett. But this story began to unfold on Monday night when James Tallarico, who is a candidate for the United States Senate in Texas, running against Miss Crockett, scheduled an interview on Stephen Colbert's late night program. And then the mayhem started. Colbert and Tallarico claimed that Donald Trump's FCC had threatened CBS not to air this interview. That turned out to be a lie, by the way. And they created this online frenzy. Oh my goodness, Donald Trump trying to keep you from hearing James Tallarico? Well, it turns out the truth is that CBS's lawyers told Stephen Colbert, hey, you're pretty close to a primary election in Texas. And if you're going to have on one of the candidates, in this case, Tallarico, you really need to have on the other candidate, Crockett. Colbert did not air the interview. In fact, they put it on YouTube instead. But that was their plan all along, for Tallarico to claim he'd been banned by Trump. Here's the forbidden interview. Go watch it. And now they're touting having raised $2.5 million online. 2 white Democrats colluding to lie to you, all to hurt Jasmine Crockett. Let's listen to Jasmine Crockett.
So can y'all believe? Let's get the whole story. I like Scott. He got a longer video. I think it goes more in depth. Let's listen to this. So what we're talking about, Jasmine Crockett running for Senate. The Democrats wants to back somebody else. He's a teacher. He's a white man. So the Democrats want to back him. So the Democrats are trying to back someone else. Stephen Colbert wants to put the white man on the show. But the Texas government tells Stephen Colbert, hey, Stephen, if you put him on, you got to put Jasmine on because we're in an election year. You got to give them both equal time. Stephen Colbert then lies to the people and say he put him on YouTube, and Stephen Colbert attempted to put across a lie that this was all done because Donald Trump hates Democrats. And instead, the truth is the Democrats are the ones who threw Jasmine Crockett under the bus. And the Democrats are going with the white boy. Let's go. Let's listen to the story. Double tap, hit the like button. #1 podcast on YouTube.
I have to tell you a story this afternoon about two white guys who are colluding to hurt the political career of an African-American woman. It's a sad story. It's a tragic story. The two white males are named Stephen Colbert and James Tallarico, and the African-American woman is named Jasmine Crockett. But this story began to unfold on Monday night when James Tallarico, who is a candidate for the United States Senate in Texas, running against Miss Crockett, scheduled an interview on Stephen Colbert's late night program. And then the mayhem started. Colbert and Tallarico claimed that Donald Trump's FCC had threatened CBS not to air this interview. That turned out to be a lie, by the way. And they created this online frenzy. Oh my goodness, Donald Trump trying to keep
and that was a little bit earlier today. And in that call, they explained that they actually told CBS that they could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert Show to go on. As you know, I've been on Colbert multiple times. And frankly, if we would have gotten an offer, that would have been great, but we're in the middle of early voting. So I'm kind of focused on being in Texas at this moment.
It's kind of amazing, actually. Democrats showing absolutely no respect for Jasmine Crockett. Now, Jasmine Crockett, heretofore, has been the smartest person in the Democratic Party. She's been one of the most prominent national Democrats since Donald Trump was sworn back into office. But the Democrats, who were all too happy to push Jasmine Crockett for the last year, have decided to throw her overboard because they want a white male in Texas named James Tallarico to be their nominee for Senate. Why?
It sounds better when he said it. I said it, but it sounds better when he said it. Oh, that MAGA! Oh, that MAGA! Oh, you're gonna get a wake-up call. Oh, you're gonna black MAGA. You're black and you're MAGA. You're a black Republican. He's not gonna accept you every fucking day. He's not gonna accept you. What's wrong with this guy? Bootlicker, black MAGA, every fucking day. Yes, this is my day. Yes, this is my day. Yes, this is my day. Every day. Every day I deal with the bullshit. Every day, black MAGA. Every day, bull wake-up call. Ah, you motherfuckers. Where you at? Where you at now? Where you at now? Where you at now? Where you at? I was right. I was right. I was right. Every day you motherfuckers got a lot to say. Every day you motherfuckers got a lot to say. Where you at now? Democrats picked the white boy and threw Jasmine Crockett, your black mammy, under the motherfucking bus. I love it. Every day I see other YouTubers. They be making videos. Oh, Black MAGA gets a wake-up call. Black conservative gets their wake-up call. They won't accept that. It's a trendy video topic. Hey, if you want to be a YouTuber right now, you want to get some views, I promise you, I know a video you could do to get some views. Do the trending topic of Black conservative, Black MAGA gets their wake-up call. I promise you 100,000 views. I promise you 100,000 views. They love that shit. They liberals, they eat that shit the fuck up. Eat that shit the fuck up. But what we have today is the reality. God dog, today we got the motherfucking reality. Today we got the motherfucking reality. Let's listen to Let's listen to real life. Then we're gonna show Jasmine Crockett face. I think he played Jasmine Crockett face. Look at her, so sad, so sad. You see how sad she looked in a sweatsuit. She like the female Al Sharpton. I can't make this shit up. She looked like more like Al Sharpton than Al Sharpton because he didn't lost weight. She looked like more than Al Sharpton than Al Sharpton. She not the female Al Sharpton. She the Al Sharpton Al Sharpton. God damn, I'm good. She the Al Sharpton. Double tap hit the like button. Double tap hit the motherfucking like button.
I can't believe it. I'm taking up for Jasmine Crockett. She's clearly been wronged here by these white males. Let's listen to her. Cut number 5.
We actually received a phone call, and that was a little bit earlier today. And in that call, they explained that they actually told CBS that they could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert show to go on. As you know, I've been on Colbert multiple times. And frankly, if we would have gotten an offer, that would have been great, but we're in the middle of early voting. So I'm kind of focused on being in Texas at this moment.
It's kind of amazing, actually. Democrats showing absolutely no respect for Jasmine Crockett. Now, Jasmine Crockett, heretofore, has been the smartest person in the Democratic Party. She's been one of the most prominent national Democrats since Donald Trump was sworn back into office.
Right.
But the Democrats, who were all too happy to push Jasmine Crockett for the last year, have decided to throw her overboard because they want a white male in Texas named James Tallarico to be their nominee for Senate.
That's it.
Why? Tallarico is currently at the forefront of Democrats who are pushing this new theology, this idea that we have figured out that the Bible, in fact, supports child mutilation. And in fact, it supports unlimited abortion. And in fact, it supports open borders. Basically, James Tallarico is an evangelist for this new liberal theology that says, magically, anything that we're for, voila, is supported by biblical teachings. This is more interesting to them today than anything Jasmine Crockett is doing. I think African-American women, African-American candidates, Democrats around the country ought to take note of this. When push comes to shove, the Democratic Party, the powers that be, the cultural celebrities who prop up the Democratic Party are all too willing to throw you overboard, to deprive you of resources and attention, if it means promoting the shiny new object in the form of white male James Tallarico.
Scott, you the man. Scott, you the man. Oh, that was great expose. Scott, you is the man. Golly, Scott. I love Scott. Oh, man, this is an extremely clear example of how MSNBC lies and pushes false narratives. CBS did not prohibit, block, Colbert from showing the Tallarica interview. CBS just informed him that if he did, he had to give Jasmine Crockett equal time. Last night, Jen opened her show by reading statements from CBS that said the network did not prohibit Colbert from airing the interview. Then she spent almost her entire show repeating the lie that CBS did block Colbert from airing the interview. She claimed that Trump's FCC came up with the new rule to stop the show from having politicians on. Her show ended with Jasmine Crockett, of all people, telling the truth that CBS was not blocked from airing the video. Let's get into
show just before it was supposed to air. The reason that CBS released a statement.
Let's get into it. Jasmine Crockett thrown under the bus by the Democratic Party for white male evangelists. No more Jasmine. Jasmine's gone. I said it in November during the 43-day shutdown. I said Jasmine is gone. Jasmine's been fired. Jasmine's gone. She's been fired. Jasmine's done.
CBS released a statement today saying, quote, "The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Rep. James Tallarico. CBS made the decision to bow to Trump's FCC and basically blocked Stephen Colbert from airing his interview with a Texas Democratic candidate. CBS pulled his interview on Stephen Colbert's show just before it was supposed to air. The reason that CBS pulled Colbert's interview with James Tallarico was because of a new kind of made-up rule by Donald Trump's FCC chair, Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr's new rule would be designed to intimidate talk shows and late-night comedy shows out of featuring political guests.
They could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert Show to go on.
CBS released a statement today saying,
so listen, you're going to watch them lie and then go back on the lie. I talk about this propaganda on the left. They don't know how to tell the truth. They don't care about the victims. They don't care about the American people. They lie for power. Look how sad and somber and beaten and bruised Jasmine Crockett looks to find out she's not going to be in Congress. She's not going to be in Senate. And the way she's leaving is going to put a stain on the rest of her professional life because they just threw you under the bus, baby girl. Now listen to them lie.
Saying, quote, "The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Rep. James Tallarico."
So the Late Show is not prohibited by CBS. Now she's going to lie about Trump.
CBS made the decision to bow to Trump's FCC and basically blocked Stephen Colbert from airing his interview with a Texas.
Do you see the lie? Let's start over because it happens quickly. This is an amalgamation. This is like a montage. Montage! Let's have a montage tonight. So in the beginning, you'll see her say the CBS did not block the interview. And then immediately it goes to the lie, where then she lies and says Trump had the FCC block the interview. And then at the very end, you will see Jasmine Crockett very sad, very somber, very fired.
CBS released a statement today saying, quote, "The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Rep. James Tallarico. CBS made the decision to bow to Trump's FCC and basically blocked Stephen Colbert from airing his interview with a Texas Democratic."
That's a lie. She just read it. That's a lie.
Candidate. CBS pulled his interview on Stephen Colbert's show just before it was supposed to air. The reason that CBS pulled Colbert's interview with James Tallarico was because of a new kind of made-up rule by Donald Trump's FCC.
That's a lie by Donald Trump. That's another lie. Look at her. Lie. And you're going to tell me about a wake-up call.
Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr's new rule would be designed to intimidate talk shows and late-night comedy shows out of featuring political guests.
They could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time.
They could go forward with the interview. Look at her looking sad. She's not even agreeing with the Democratic lie. They could go forward with the interview. They just had to offer equal time. Instead, they lied and helped James raise $2.5 million in a war chest to defeat Jasmine Crockett.
Of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert Show to go on.
CBS released a statement.
It's so clear, so sad. So clear and so sad. So clear and so sad. Jasmine is fired. Put it in the chat. Jasmine Crockett has been fired by the Democratic Party. I wish I could tell you that it was different. But the fact of the matter is that Jasmine Crockett has been fired by the Democratic Party. Benny Johnson, I'm calling on the FEC to immediately investigate Stephen Colbert over his James Tellico interview hoax. CBS admitted he lied. It was a stunt to boost fundraising numbers. There was no censorship. Colbert used broadcast airways for election interference. Hold him accountable. This was all political stunt to raise money. Now, remember, in Minnesota, what I said about the Democrats, it's plausible to me because I said those are not protests. What you see in Minnesota after the unaliving of Alex Pretty, and these are not protests, these are rallies. These are rallies, and they are recruiting people. These are not protests, these are rallies, and these are being used to recruit to the Democratic Party. I sold you flyers. Join the Socialist Party. Join the Communist Party. I thought it was about Renee Good and Alex Pretty. Why are all these flyers here? Why are you trying to recruit people to the Communist or Socialist Party? Because this is the Democrat tactic.
The FCC finally has a pair, and isn't that nice to see?
Yeah, this is an amazing story.
Yeah,
I love this story so much. So what you're forcing the communist revolutionaries to do that run the Colbert, the zombie franchise of the Colbert late night show, by the way, it's a dead man walking. Okay. And they're forcing Stephen Colbert effectively to run out his contract for a couple of months. And it's a couple of painful months. And it's painful for Stephen Colbert because what's happening right now is they're exposing him for who he truly is, which is not only a propagandist, but also somebody who's actively in a revolutionary role to try and help elect Democrats.
Yes.
And if Jasmine Crockett isn't useful to the revolution, she's finding out right now that she will be thrown directly into the trash. And it doesn't matter if Stephen Colbert wears here's an article right here, Rob, that says Stephen Colbert wears Black Lives Matter bracelet on the late night show, gives lecture about listening to Black women. Isn't that amazing? But he's banning the only Black woman running for Senate in Texas from his show. It's absolutely remarkable. And I just want to call on something right now, really quickly, and use just this wonderful moment on Newsmax to do so. I'm not calling for an FCC investigation. I think we're way beyond that. I'm calling for an FEC investigation. Federal Elections Commission should really look into how Stephen Colbert manipulated and hoaxed James Tallarico into the #1 fundraising position in Texas right now. Because it seems like this entire thing was a scheme that was launched by Stephen Colbert and his team in order to effort and push the guy that they think or believes could run and win.
Well, isn't that
and
just
they're sabotaging Jasmine Crockett in doing so. So Black Lives Matter clearly doesn't really matter to Stephen Colbert.
Well, and that's the juiciest part of it, is just how quickly they'll just throw her aside because they don't think she can win in Texas. But it is just amazing that that's how deep into the political process this guy that supposedly just has a late night comedy show on a broadcast network that's federally regulated, it's so corrupted. And the FCC has been so absent for so long that Stephen Colbert is just a political operator working inside of CBS, and he's been doing this for 11 years. And now this mild repudiation that comes from CBS under new ownership, you just have to have Crockett on. They didn't demand that he had Ken Paxton on. They just said, bring Crockett on, and he explodes over this.
Isn't it amazing how brutal and ruthless these communist revolutionaries always are? Go check in with the Clintons right now. Look, listen, all Democrats voted to hold the Clintons in contempt. Now, I love that vote. I'm in favor of that vote. But it is a wild world where they're saying the Clintons are no longer useful to our revolution. We throw them into the wood chipper. That's what the communist revolutionists are saying. It doesn't matter. Ask Joe Biden. When you live out your usefulness to these people, you're through. You're done. They have nothing left for you. They will run you and your grandmother right over.
Well said.
And it doesn't matter if you're Jasmine Crockett, if you are at the top of the DEI pyramid, it doesn't matter if they think that you are going to cost them something. You're done. right? All of it's just lip service. They don't believe it. Stephen Colbert virtue signaling with his Black Lives Matter bracelet on the show doesn't mean any of it.
Yes, especially a state like Texas, a Senate seat in a state like Texas, way bigger than Jasmine Crockett and all the BS that they usually hawk out to us. Congressman Benny Johnson, good to see you. Thanks so much.
I'll take Congressman, man. I'll take Congressman. And also, Stephen, you lost just a little bit of advice to Stephen really quickly. You lost a wonderful comedy opportunity because Jasmine could have used her many, many accents on The Late Show.
There you go.
It would have been hilarious. We throw them into the wood chipper. That's what the communist revolutionists are saying. It doesn't matter. Ask Joe Biden. When you live out your usefulness to these people, you're through. You're done. They have nothing left for you. They will run you and your grandmother right over.
Well said.
And it doesn't matter if you're Jasmine Crockett, if you are at the top of the DEI pyramid. It doesn't matter if they think that you are going to cost them something. You're done. Right? All of it's just lip service. They don't believe it. Stephen Colbert virtue signaling with his Black Lives Matter bracelet on the show doesn't mean any of it.
Yes, especially a state like Texas, a Senate seat in a state like Texas, way bigger than Jasmine Crockett and all the BS that they usually hawk out to us. Congressman Benny Johnson, good to see you. Thanks so much.
I'll take Congressman, man. I'll take Congressman. And also, Stephen, you lost just a little bit of advice to Stephen really quickly. You lost a wonderful comedy opportunity because Jasmine could have used her many, many accents on The Late Show.
There you go.
It would have been hilarious.
Now, what does he mean? Jasmine Crockett went to Rutgers College. She had $1 million education. So when Jasmine Crockett does her sister girl, black girl, 3 fingers up in the Z snap formation, that is fake. That is a fake accent. That is not who she is. That is not her background or her education. Jasmine Crockett is literally a Rhodes fucking scholar. You know how people joke at the dinner party? Who are you? You think you're a fucking Rhodes scholar? Jasmine Crockett is actually a fucking Rhodes scholar. I love this. She could use her accents because that whole sister girl, black girl is a fucking accent.
You lost just a little bit of advice to Stephen really quickly. You lost a wonderful comedy opportunity because Jasmine could have used her many, many accents on The Late Show.
There you go.
It would have been hilarious.
It is. That's the best part of listening to Jasmine Crockett. Benny, good to see you.
Oh, shit. I don't know what to do. Oh, God damn. Oh, shit. This is hilarious. Ice, baby. Too cold. It's like ice, baby. Just go back home. Oh, man. What I want to go to ice. I'm going to go to ice real quick because I got to get out of here. I wanted to talk about this ice shit. Let's get to ice. Student walk out against ICE deportation, prompt safety issues and suspensions. Dozens of high schools from California to Florida saw walkouts against the Trump administration deportation campaign. Double tap hit the like button. Let's get into it, you guys. Double tap hit the like button. ICE walkout, ICE raids. Let's get into it. Administration deportation campaign, which removed over 540,000 people since January 2025. Per Brookings estimates in Pennsylvania, Wilson High School principal Daniel Weber confronted protesters outside, warning of suspensions and prompting them to disperse. A Florida walkout turned dangerous when a student was hit by a car near Palm Beach Lakes Community High School. I didn't know that. I've been showing, I show the mom get beat. I show the dad get beat. I show the mom pull kid out of school. I didn't know that I knew someone would get injured because I saw how unruly these children were. Okay, so someone's got hit by a car. While other incidents involve highway risk in North Carolina, so they blocked the highways in North Carolina, and clashes in California. Schools vary in responses from suspensions to truancy charges as debates grow over safety, free speech, and education. So what led me to do this research today is that I wanted to know about the fraud aspect. A Pennsylvania principal, Daniel Weber of Wilson High School, is receiving widespread recognition after shutting down an anti-ICE walkout at his school by threatening suspension for all students involved. Can we clap it up for him? Why did this take so long? Why did this take so long? So why am I talking about this today? I'm talking about this today because I was doing my research, right? And I said, my channel, we were the first channel to report that the walkouts out of high school in January 30th. But then I keep seeing reports of high school walkouts, right? And I said to myself, when we first talked about it, I said, this is fraud. This is straight up fraud. This is the same thing that happened in Minnesota where they were paying for attendance, but kids don't go to school. But taxpayers are paying. Some people pay Melrose. Some people pay exorbitant HOA fees just so their kids can go to a certain school that they think is going to help them have a good advantage in life. So parents pay a lot of money, not just in taxes, but Melrose, HOA, commute, gas, a lot for you to go to that school. And then we come to find out that parents pay a lot. Parents pay a lot for the schools, man. And then we come to find out that y'all not in school. So when I did my research on the topic, I said in my research, I said, how many days have these kids been out of school? And the kids have been out of school several times since January 30th. And that's what I thought. 5 to 10 days in some states. So the kids, I said, this is a problem because the kids are now believing that it's okay to just leave the school, that this is a viable way to do politics in America. They don't understand that you have to get elected, create constituency, committee, policy, and that's how you get things changed in America. No, they liberal teachers have told them that they can get change in America by leaving school and foregoing their education. It's absolutely horrible. So let's take a look at this. This is a principal finally doing something that's logical. This principal, I told you about a parent, a friend of mine, his child wanted to participate in the ICE protest. He said, write me a 3-page paper. And if you could legitimately explain to me why you feel the way you feel and how the protest will benefit you in your future, I'll let you do it.
We'll go back to class and we're good. If you stay out here, we will get your names. You will be suspended. Okay? That is your option at this point because you are operating outside the bounds of what was granted. That event was canceled. You left school without permission. Your rights do not supersede the school. So if you understand that, that is your option. If you wish to return, Dr. Damiani will let you in that door over there. If not, I will be getting your names. You will be suspended, okay? Those are your options. What are we doing? All right? Your rights do not exceed that of the school. We'll go back to class and we're good. If you stay out here, we will get your names. You will be suspended, okay? That is your option at this point because you are operating outside the bounds of what was granted. That event was canceled. You left school without permission.
Human rights are not being granted to us. They see the wrong thing has not been taught. They don't know about civics. They don't know about the law. They have not been taught and trained what is really going on. This is what the Democrats, when you got Stephen Colbert doing that thing that he did where he lied about Jasmine Crockett, this is what's causing all the confusion with these kids. They don't know which way is up. They don't know which way is up. Finally, and if you notice, what is different about this high school situation in a lot of the other high schools? is you have a man as a principal. Let's give it up for this bro. And I don't care if he's Democrat or Republican. This is a man being a man, standing up, doing his job, and putting his foot down. Masculinity, boy. I mean, this country is lacking in masculinity, and a lot of the bullshit that we see would not happen if we had more men. This is not partisan. This is a man who knows how to do his fucking job and came to work to do his job, and ain't no fucking kids gonna outdo me and supersede the fucking job that I came to do and get paid for. I'm the fucking principal. Legally, you got to be in school. If you don't bring your fucking ass in here, you are getting suspended, and that could fuck with your permanent record and the rest of your life. Finally, this could fuck with your permanent record and the rest of your life. Finally.
Your rights do not supersede the school. So if you understand that, that is your option. If you wish to return, Dr. Damiani will let you in that door over there. If not, I will be getting your names. You will be suspended, okay? Those are your options. What are we doing? All right? Your rights do not exceed that of the school. So go back to
And they need to be, you know what I first said about these walkouts? How about we educate them? I don't think they understand what he just said. And that's the problem. Your rights do not supersede the rights of the school. That's the problem. Schools are teaching kids to say F ICE, fire every teacher involved immediately. Schools are teaching kids to say F ICE.
My name is Kaylin. My name is Rafa. My name is Ulysses, and we're presenting the story of others. The stories of others, intertwining like brothers, trying to change and free from struggles, while at the same time hoping for help under the covers, unrecognized by others. We are all humans, no matter the race. No disgrace, we all deserve a place, and we shouldn't have to pick up our pace because a police officer is in our face or a crazy white lady sprays us with mace. We all are not thugs, and we all deserve hugs, and some of us won't even crush bugs.
A crazy white lady sprays us with mace. How y'all feel about this? There's a white kid saying a crazy white lady sprays us with mace. How y'all feel about this? How y'all feel about this? That's crazy. Teaching white kids to hate white people. Y'all don't understand how deep this is. That's why it's grooming. That's why it's programming, teaching young white kids to hate white people. What's the end result of that?
We're getting deported by ICE, and I can't understand why everyone can't suffice. We have might, so we must fight. Just for our rights, look at the future and set our sights. Fuck ICE. Cooked, our system is cooked. Booked, our president.
So they cussing in class. Y'all see that? And throwing up the F bird. And the teachers are cool with this. Man, I don't know. I don't even know, man. I don't even know, man. This is supposed to be the future. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Beth Bourne is a warrior protecting our kids. Look at her standing alone, facing down a mob of hideously ignorant and aggressive students at school staff. Shame on every adult at Winters High School for allowing this to happen. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Whitney Houston lie. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Can y'all believe this? Look at this shit. So that's a kid pulling and physically assaulting a grown adult female. That's what the Democratic Party looks like today. Remember, we just talked about Jasmine Crockett. They love Black Lives Matter, but they just threw Jasmine Crockett under the bus. Democrats love women unless you for Trump and J.D. Vance. If you for Trump and J.D. Vance, then all of those things about women and feminism and protecting women go out the window. And men, I've played video after video of Democratic blue-haired liberal men assaulting conservative women. Conservative women who are not even doing this. He hit her from behind. He attacked her back. That's what the Democrats are condoning and teaching. Let's look at that again. He hit her from behind. See that? Unbelievable. Just swarmed the elderly person. And all these adults got to get the crazy kids back. These are all women. These are all conservative women. They want you to believe that white women are liberal, Democrats. Look at these conservative women, conservative moms. These are all conservative women, conservative moms. And to me, they're being the most motherly they probably have ever been in their life, because these kids know not what they do. These kids know not what they do. This is angry woman calls effing BITCH for holding a sign supporting President Trump at yesterday's student-led anti-ICE protest in rural Winters, California. That's by me. When they say rural, remember I talked to you about Stockton and the agricultural communities and the migrant workers in California. Would anyone know her name? I'm preparing an incident report for the Winters Police Department. I also want to express, so this woman is calling names to this woman. Let's take a look. This is how the ICE raids protest violence. Double tap at the like button. Ice, ice, baby. Too cold, too cold. It's like ice, ice, baby. Just go back home.
Keep walking. Keep walking.
What's your badge number?
551.
Okay, what's the chief?
Chief Miller.
Where is he?
Down there at the protest.
Okay.
Keep walking. What's your name again? Keep walking. Keep walking.
RNE.
Okay. Keep walking.
No, you hit my niece. You hit her in the fucking face, you bitch. You hit her in the fucking face with your elbow, you stupid bitch. With my elbow. You don't hit kids.
Keep walking.
You don't hit kids.
Keep walking.
Okay, why?
You see this crazy woman? You see this crazy woman? She better be a citizen. She need to call ICE on this person right here. Everybody, I agree. This person need to be under arrest. We just watched the video of this elderly woman with her sign be attacked by kids. So if this bitch is trying to insinuate that somehow this elderly woman hit your kid with her elbow when she was trying to defend herself from being attacked, bitch, fuck you.
Why are you provoking them then?
I'm not provoking.
Yes, you are. Then why the fuck are you over here downtown? Okay, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck then. I voted for Trump.
So provoking them is being here. This is what the country is. This white woman is being harassed and told to get out of the country. Y'all are asleep. Y'all are asleep at the wheel. Sleep at the wheel. She don't even speak English. She wasn't born in America, and she telling this white woman, get the fuck out. I can't make this up.
Trump. Okay, I don't care.
Okay.
Keep walking.
I don't care. The white woman is like confused. Like this bitch, this little Mexican bitch don't even understand. When she is saying she votes for Trump, what she is saying to you is, little bitch, that she has a right in America because you're not culturally, you have never been culturally acclimated to America, bitch. You don't know the civil rights, bitch. You don't know the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. So what she is saying is when she say I voted for Trump, bitch, she has a right, bitch. Bitch, she has a right, bitch. You want to go back to Mexico, bitch, because you don't understand America and democracy. She has a right to her opinion. She voted for Trump, bitch. It's America, stupid bitch.
You coming out here and provoking these kids while you're doing a peaceful protest? That's provoking them.
I was peacefully protesting.
No.
I was holding my sign.
I don't care. That's provoking.
He's right.
That's provoking, especially for kids underage.
So
that's creepy and that's weird, bitch.
Why is it creepy and weird?
Because it is.
Why can't they hear that some people voted for Trump?
Why can't they hear that message? Because that's weird.
How is that weird, you stupid bitch? That is called democracy. And I love this elderly white woman because what she is doing by asking the stupid bitch questions is she is putting on the side how stupid the Democrats and liberals purposely have our citizens. They fucking have no clue about liberty and democracy, that we have a two-party system. If there's only one party, you dumb bitch. If we only have Democrats, then that's a fucking monarchy. Fuck!
No, Trump wants
You're
to
crazy,
get,
you're stupid.
He wants to get men out of the women's
Keep walking.
prison.
No.
Women are being raped by
No.
men.
You're
There's
fucking mentally ill.
There's
Then.
boys competing
You're
against
mentally ill.
I'm not mentally ill.
Yes, you are. I don't care. That's not peaceful. Okay.
Keep walking. Let's get you to the car.
Hitting minors. At least my fucking hero.
Thank you.
I love it. You hear that white boy? He said that lady's my fucking hero. Let's go, MAGA! Let's go, MAGA! He said that's not a peaceful protest, bitch. That's not a peaceful protest, bitch. That's not a peaceful protest, bitch.
I don't care. That's not peaceful. Okay.
That's not fucking peaceful. So it's not just me. It's not the people in the chat. Everybody can see these Democrats. That's why they're going to lose in 2026. Everybody can see you, Democrats. Everybody can see you, Democrats. Everybody can see you, Democrats. I played a video from Munich the other day. In the Czech Republic said Trump is a response to woke politics. Not only Americans, but people outside of America can see this shit and recognize it as crazy and bullshit. Everybody can see this and say, that's not peaceful. Everyone, W MAGA. That, you understand what I'm saying? Everyone is looking at this. Everyone, even Munich, even the Czech Republic.
The women's
walking.
prison. No. Women are being raped by
No.
men.
You're
There's boys,
fucking mentally ill.
There's
Then.
boys competing
You're
against
mentally ill.
I'm not mentally ill.
Yes, you are. I don't care. That's not peaceful. Okay.
Keep walking. Let's get you to the car.
Hitting minors. At least my fucking hero.
Double tap hit the like button. That lady's my fucking hero. She's my hero too. God bless you. God bless Trump. He said that lady's my fucking hero. She's my hero too. I love you, ma'am. I love you. Double tap hit the like button. And not just because you're a white woman and I love white women. You know what I'm saying? I love you for what you out here doing for these kids, man. I love you for what you out here doing for these kids, man. That was just amazing, man. Good job. Good job. I got another ICE story. This high school kid walks out to protest against ICE. Any teacher that does this should be fired. The principal of Olympic High School was fired for forcing students to participate. Did y'all know that they were being forced to participate? Huh? And this is the perp walk. Let's get into it. Double tap at the like button. #1 podcast on YouTube. #1 podcast on YouTube. Double tap at the like button. God bless you too, brother. I love you. All of the principals who condone this shit should be fired.
The principal of Olympic Middle School was fired because she encouraged students to participate in ICE-related off-campus activities without prior consultation with parents. After learning about the situation, the mother of one of the students clearly expressed her opposition to her child's participation in any form of off-campus protest. However, the school authorities later expelled the student on the grounds of leaving school in violation of regulations. As the incident was exposed, more and more parents began to speak out. It turned out that the principal had clearly conveyed to the students that if they did not act under the unified command of the school, they would face the risk of being expelled. This statement soon caused a tense atmosphere on campus, and many students were forced to express their opinions under pressure. Under the pressure of public opinion, the school district focused on reviewing the principal's decision-making approach throughout the incident and whether he abused his management power. Eventually, the principal neglected student safety during the handling process and crossed the boundaries that education should have. The school decided to fire him. What's your opinion on this?
Fire them all. Double tap at the like button. Fire them all. We're going into this ICE shit. Just giving y'all some information. When I did my research, man, what bothered me, what I wanted to know is how many walkouts and when did the walk. So I had a timeline, and the walkout started in January 30th, right? And then they have been continuing to walk out the whole entire time. They have been continuing to walk out the whole entire time. Nobody even, nobody's been keeping track. I was like, this is happening more often than people know and realize. This is happening more often than people know and realize. So since January 30th, the initial walkout, they've been walking out 5. So I said, so how much money? How much money has this cost the American people, right? All these days. So it's funny because there actually is people investigating this, and California is trying to defend the walkouts, multiple walkouts, mind you, by saying that the kids didn't leave the whole day. This lets you know how much the Democrats don't care, bro. That lets you know how much the Democrats don't care, bro. The walkouts kicked off hard in late January 2026. January 30th, National Shutdown Day, no school, work, or shopping. Continued sporadically through February 2026, multiple days per school district. For example, February 2nd, 4th, 7th, 10th, 13th, 17th, 18th, and 20th in various places. So let's count the days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the initial day. So we're over 10 days. Not one continuous streak, more like bursts. 1 to 3 days per school cluster. So each walkout was like a couple of days. And I just played a video where the kids are still trying to leave campus, even though they have not been condoned. And I had to have a principal. I showed a video where the principal said, if you continue to leave school, I'm going to suspend you. So over the last 4 weeks, this is like the Minnesota-Minneapolis fraud. At certain point, parents need to understand, not only are your children not going to be able to catch up, because if they lose school, so this is why it was such a big deal in the pandemic. Because if they don't go to school for so long, there will be certain things, the way the brain, because they're growing, their intellect is growing, they're not fully mature. They will miss certain things, and the way it works is you never learn it. You know how many guys know that about education? You miss certain things and you never learn it. So it's not only that they're going to miss certain things, but it's the amount of money, because this is nationwide. I know a lot of you are saying, oh no, it's just a couple kids. You gotta do the math. Nationwide, thousands of students in dozens of states. California, Texas, Illinois, Minnesota, New York, Florida, Oklahoma, Virginia, etc. Specifics. Major spikes, January 30th. Thousands in Los Angeles, Chicago, Texas, etc. February spikes, hundreds in Chicago, LA, Woodbridge, Virginia. 300 people suspended. Oklahoma, 100 suspended. So the results of these protests have been violence and children being suspended for school. Trump is not going to stop deporting these criminals. People with warrants for murder, rape, and domestic violence. Those people need to go. I don't want Trump to stop. But the payment, the penalty, it's just like shutting down the government. So the Democrats have no policy. So instead of having anything to negotiate, they just say, what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice our children. Think about the Democrat logic. What we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice our children. Yeah, Trump keeps doing this, and so we're going to sacrifice our children. Don't that sound very democratic? Sacrifice our children's education. And then you know how budgets are made? This could affect next year's budget, which again would affect the kids. It don't affect the rich Democrats. This hurts the children. So the Democrats say, oh, Trump ain't doing what we want on immigration, despite Trump deporting less. Hillary Clinton said Trump has deported less. Hillary Clinton said Trump has deported less people than her husband, less people than Barack Obama. So Why is this happening? Let me show you this video as we talk about ICE. Did you guys know that Trump and the federal government released a video of why we're doing what we're doing? Just to let you know, the Democrats have sacrificed these kids' education, and they think we're going to stop going after these criminals. Let me show you why Trump is not going to stop, and why the Democrats are evil and sinister for attempting to sacrifice your children's education.
You know where you are with. You know where you are with. For collapsing, falling, bouncing back and one day.
Woo! Woo! Let's go, MAGA. Let's go, MAGA. This is our why. These are all the victims. Add Nancy Guthrie. Add Nancy Guthrie. This is why we're not going to stop. And the Democrats going to sacrifice our children's education to stop us from getting these goddamn criminals? What the fuck is wrong with this country? This video are all of the American citizens who are victims of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, and their Democratic failure in policies. Let's have a talk this morning.
You know where you are with. You know where you are with. For collapsing, falling, bouncing back and one day I am gone.
Ice, ice, baby. Too cold, it's like ice, ice, baby. Just go back home. This is our why. Why you doing this show, Perfect? This is our why. Why you support Donald Trump, Perfect? This is our why. Why you support ICE, Perfect? This is our why. This is our why. This is our why. This is our why. Double tap hit the like button. And the Democrats say, well, let's go ahead and get rid of the kids' education. We don't give a fuck about the kids' education. That's what the Democrats say. We don't give a fuck about the kids' education. My brother from another mother.
I respectfully disagreed and still remain pretty salty about what you said about us. And I feel even more adamant about what your husband, Barack Obama, said when he talked to those men in Pittsburgh and implied that to not vote for Kamala is because we're engaging in some sort of misogyny. There are issues that matter to every American citizen. And to sort of blackmail us emotionally into trying to compel us to vote one way or another is part of what won Trump the election. Because that side of the aisle was able to look at the left and say, look at what they'll do to win. And y'all talking about him like he's worse. And in a lot of y'all eyes, he is worse. But that didn't make y'all clean. It really, really didn't.
That's my brother from another mother, man. Just calling the Democrats out. And they say Stephen may run for president.
The president of the United States is going to give his State of the Union address, and the Democrats got other plans. So some are talking about walking out in the middle of his speech. Others are talking about boycotting it altogether and essentially finding something else to do. I'm here to tell you that neither is acceptable. Neither should be acceptable. At some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be an adult in the room.
Thank you.
If you're going to act as juvenile, as petulant, as petty, as you accuse the president of the United States to be, how are you ever going to hold a high moral ground, at least high enough to judge him accordingly? If people on the right can turn and look at you and say, you're no better, you act no better, where's it going to get you? See, these are the kind of things that end up getting people like myself and others in the news, because we're talking about getting things done. I've said repeatedly, and I'll state it again, and I'll make news by saying it again. I have no desire to be an elected official. I've never entertained politics in my life. I'm certainly not an aficionado on the issues. Got a long way to go to learn all the things that go on. But you know what I have? I have common sense. I have decency. I have respect for the office, even when or if I didn't respect the individual. Because I would understand it as a representative, whether it be that as a representative or a senator in the United States of America. Guess what? I have a constituency to answer to. And I have people who need me, who I represent. And whether I like it or not, this individual is in office until 2028.
The thing is, the Democrats don't speak to the constituency. They speak to the donor class. They don't work for the constituency. They don't work for the people. They work for the donor class. Damn.
And I got to find a way to do business with him in order to get something done. You see, when you go to the American people and you ask the American people, yo, stand up, step up, and handle your business. Stop bitching and screaming all the time. When you got problems at the job, when you got bills to pay, when you got a family to take care of, find a way to work around it and handle your business. How come that can't apply to elected officials? Why do they get away with that? Why do they get to circumvent those rules and regulations? Why do they get to circumvent the need and the insistence of mere decorum? This is the kind of stuff that ticks me off.
My brother from another mother, double tap at the like button. My brother from another brother. Yeah, man, that's what ticks me off too, Steven. Do your thing, man. Do your one, too. Earlier, I mentioned that a student was hit by a car. Breaking news, a student was struck by a car during an anti-ICE walkout at Palm Beach Lakes Community High School in West Palm Beach, Florida. Double tap at the like button. No one is telling you.
A student participating in a walkout.
Participating in these walkouts, you better be sure, I wouldn't let my child participate, but you better be vigilant because there's violence, people are getting hurt.
A student participating in a walkout at Palm Beach Lakes High School was hit by a car along North Military Trail. That child was rushed to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
And as tensions flared up, separate protest sites across our area, cameras capturing two people here, a man and a woman, appears to be maybe a student, struggling with police as officers tried to control the growing crowds.
A student participating.
So not only a person got hit, but then people getting arrested. Double tap hit the like button. This one of the most beautiful white woman I had ever seen in my life. This is my wife. This is my future wife. I love this round face, blonde hair, white woman right here.
2026 is going to be a record successful year for the American people, just as President Trump promised them. The January jobs report shattered expectations, highlighting how the president's pro-growth economic
Double tap hit the like button. Double tap. Somebody earlier mentioned Mamdani cuts 5,000 NYPD hires, slashes 11 million from police. I just want to bring this up. One of my chat members, W chat. Could I get a W chat? NYC Mayor Zoran Mamdani is eliminating 5,000 planned NYPD officer hires and reducing the department's budget by 11 million. Defund the police. Ding, ding, ding. Defund the police. What have I said? You got what you voted for, Democrats. You are dealing with a situation where an 84-year-old grandmother is missing. You have rampant crime. The crime in America is changing. We got kidnapping, extortion. Why? Because the criminals who have come here from South America are a different level and a different culture. They're kidnapping 84-year-old women. And our response is defund the police by $11 million and don't hire. I gave you numbers. I said in Tucson, Arizona, there's 600 police. At any given night, there's 300 police. How many citizens? 500,000. So 300 police have to protect 500,000 citizens from the Sinaloa cartel, the Tren de Aragua cartel, just regular Mexican criminals. How does that work? Anybody want to tell me how that works out? It doesn't. It works out with an 84-year-old woman being kidnapped. In Minnesota, similar numbers, several 100,000 people, several hundred officers. At any given night in Minneapolis, you have, again, 200 to 300 police officers with hundreds of thousands of individuals on the street. I gave you the numbers from Oakland. Oakland, they defunded the police by $14 million. Oakland police are down hundreds of officers. And I said, well, how many citizens in Oakland? 700,000. How many police? 700. So at any given night in Oakland, you have 300 to 400 police, maybe, with hundreds of thousands of people on the street. How can hundreds of police be even asked to protect hundreds of thousands of people? And then Joe Biden, these were the numbers after COVID, because we lost officers after BLM protests and after COVID. But imagine these numbers and then throw at these numbers millions of immigrants with no job, no license, no security, no training, no education, and they need to get money and food. I'm not even calling them bad people. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't even call anyone a bad name. I just said the realities of the current police departments in major American cities. That's before Biden-Harris immigration. You add on top of those numbers, Biden-Harris immigration. Now, why is this important? Because these people don't have Social Security. These people don't have training. These people are not acclimated to America. It's very difficult for them to find work, food. So they are more likely to turn to crime and more quickly to turn to crime in order just to feed them fucking selves, brothers and sisters. Why Biden didn't say, we need a plan when we bring these people in? Because if we don't have a plan when we bring these people in, they're going to turn into criminals. Not because they're criminals, but because they got to eat. And human beings will do what they need to do to eat. If Biden opens the border, tells millions of people to come here without a plan, without a place for them to live, without a place for them to work, without a place for them to shit and piss, then they will turn to crime. Not because they're criminal, not because of their ethnic and racial background, because that's what humans do when they need to eat. Sorry. I gotta get this.
We haven't gotten to the more perfect union, and we fought a civil war over part of it. And people have been protesting, for hundreds of years that, things were not as they should be given our ideals and how we should be moving toward them. So I think that's what makes us so special as a country. And the idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, is just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that. I mean, imperfectly, lots of, bumps along the way, but I agree with you. We were on the right trajectory.
Let me.
We haven't gotten to the more perfect union, and we fought a civil war over.
Civil war. What is wrong with these baby boomers? Why is Hillary Clinton bringing up the Civil War? As a black MAGA conservative, I'm fucking embarrassed. Why are you bringing up the Civil War? It's like Chuck Schumer bringing up Jim Crow 2.0. Sit the fuck down. You guys are done. Sit the fuck down. There's no more Jim Crow. There's no more Civil War. It was 100 years. Sit the fuck down. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of you old baby boomers trying to relive your youth. It's not the 60s anymore, Hillary. Fucking Chuck Schumer, fucking Hillary Clinton, sit the fuck down with that bullshit. It's not the fucking 60s anymore. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? And y'all talking about a perfect union, and you just threw Jasmine Crockett under the motherfucking bus. How the fuck is Hillary Clinton talking about a more perfect union when the Democratic Party just basically fired Jasmine Crockett? You don't give a fuck about black people and the civil rights, you lying bitch.
I am tired of people asking whether or not I am electable. The reality is that that is nothing but dog whistle. If you got a super PAC that's doing your bidding, then they need to go ahead and lift you up. What they shouldn't be doing is tearing down a black woman who, number one, is more qualified. These are just the facts. At the end of the day, I am the only one that has owned a small business. I am the only one that has actually practiced law both on the state level and the federal level. I am the only one that has been elected to do work on the state level as well as the federal level. And frankly, I did all of that, and we know that as it relates to my opponent, and God bless, because my dad is a teacher, so I don't want anybody to get this twisted, but he had 2 years where he taught charter school. And then after that, he went into the state house, and then he became a consultant for charter.
Mr. Tallarico has been up with a ton of ads this entire campaign.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about your campaign strategy?
I don't. Listen, I think that Texans need to, number one, understand that Republicans are going to outspend us come November. This is just the reality. If we spend $100 million, they're going to spend $200 million. And if the only way that you can get through an election is by spending money, then we're going to have a problem anyway. Wow. We've tried that. We need a candidate that, yes, can raise money, and I am the 5th highest fundraising member of the House. So, yes, we need somebody that can get the resources. But more importantly, we need somebody who has a rapport with the people, because when we don't have enough money, because we will not match their money no matter who the candidate is, we never have, we are going to need a little extra something. I am tired of people telling me they don't know how they're going to afford to buy a home. I am tired of people telling me that the tariffs are making them shut down their businesses. This is not who we're supposed to be. And don't get me started on ICE and how we need to rein them in.
On the eve of the first day of early voting, State Representative James Tallarico, who is also running for Senate, was slated to appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But that interview only aired on YouTube.
This is the party that ran against cancel culture. And now they're trying to control what we watch, what we say, what we read. And this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture, the kind that comes from the top.
Double tap at the like button, man. You know, I'm giving y'all this news, man. Double tap at the like button, man. Hit the super chat. Hit the, somebody become a member. I need to have some memberships, gift out some memberships. Hit the plus sign when you subscribe to become a member. Hit the super chat. The Cash App is $Big D Rants every day at 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. The best channel for political discourse, geopolitical. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast.
For those who have watched budget after budget, it is tempting to assume that we are engaging in the same dance as our predecessors. Let me assure you, nothing about this is typical. That's why our solutions won't be either. There are two paths to bridge this gap. The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path. This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. The onus for resolving this crisis should not be placed on the backs of working and middle-class New Yorkers. If we do not fix this structural imbalance and do not heed the calls of New Yorkers to raise taxes on the wealthy, this crisis will not disappear. It will simply return, year after year, forcing harder and harsher choices each time. And if we do not go down the first path, the city will be forced down a second, more harmful path. Faced with no other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
Great show. Great show. What else can I say, man? 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 Great fucking show. Great fucking show, man. Prince Andrew was arrested. Did y'all know about that? Prince Andrew was arrested. Prince Andrew was brought down by the Epstein Transparency Act. The new release has backfired on Trump's enemies. I don't know about that shit, but oh yeah, that's about it.
I mean, whether we ever get to the bottom of what happened at the end of the day.
Now, do you think that it will accelerate into that potentially? That it might spiral into, like, did Prince Andrew, as his friends say, and I'm using their language, F underage girls?
I mean, whether we ever get to the bottom of what happened, at the end of the day, they paid off Virginia Giuffre. They paid her £12 million. The king stripped him of his, not only his dukedom, but his actual princedom, if for want of a better word. We're only seeing 3.5 million of the Epstein files at the moment. It remains to be seen how many more of them we see, but you do wonder how long this is going to go. When they marched through the division lobbies of Congress and voted to release this, and President Trump signed the Epstein Transparency Act, no one quite realized, I think these President Trump's enemies would hope it would shake him up, but the bombshell it's launched across the globe, no more so than in Britain, I think is quite unprecedented. I think we are a long way from the end of this story, and it's been going up now since 2006-7. I think there's a lot more to come, and I think actually, as a congressperson was saying earlier, if you can level a prince, if you can see a prince in a jail cell, I mean, basically everyone's untouchable. End of the month, we've got the testimony of Bill Clinton, a former president, dragged before, Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State, presidential runner, dragged before Congress to testify. And you just know someone's going to say, did you kill Jeffrey Epstein? Did you, Bill, have sex with underage girls? What did you do? This is going to be such a, I don't think people realize what a sort of humbling moment it is for global elites at this moment. And when they voted for that act, I don't think in their wildest dreams they realized quite how big this was going to be. And you can see why some people fought tooth and nail to stop this happening. And I get a little misty-eyed now I've moved to America about the old country sometimes. But at the end of the day, who's in jail for this stuff? A Brit, Ghislaine Maxwell, whose reputation's in tatters, a prince, a British prince, whose ambassador had to resign over this, the British ambassador, whose government almost fell 10 days ago because of their link, because of stuff that was revealed in the Epstein files, the British government. There is a level of accountability that we have in Britain, I think, that actually we should still be proud of. There is still some honor amongst thieves. There is still, people can still be humbled in a way that actually around the world, people seem to be getting away with stuff that actually they probably shouldn't be.
That's a wonderful point. I love that point. And we've been calling for that. Like, I think that Bill Gates and Bill Clinton should be sweating bullets. They can do this to a prince. They can do it to anyone. We've been repulsed generally by these photos of Ghislaine Maxwell sitting on the throne. It's like, as a proud monarchist.
With Kevin Spacey there. Look at that.
That's right. What a shot. I'm sure they say this.
You were talking about Epstein's apartment earlier and the CCTV. I mean, did the CCTV installed by the Israeli government capture the giant oil painting of Bill Clinton wearing a dress and high heels? I mean, what the hell's going on there?
What the hell is going on? Oh, okay.
Man. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Can y'all believe it, man? He said Prince Andrew under arrest, and the British monarchy almost came down 10 days ago. And he basically challenged America by saying, we took down the prince, we took down the prime minister, all of this over Epstein. The world is looking at America and wondering, when are you guys going to do the same thing? Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. When is someone going to be prosecuted? Leslie Wexner. When is a wealthy white man going to go to jail in America? And I don't even give a fuck. But that's the question. When is one of these wealthy white men who changed the rules and Jeffrey Epstein never really paid? The truth is about Jeffrey Epstein, he did what he wanted to do until he died at 60-something years old. Jeffrey Epstein, from the age of 20 years old until late in his 60s, had influence, money, and power, and no checks and balances. Even when he was arrested and convicted, he was allowed to leave jail early. He was allowed to leave his prison sentence 9 months early by Barack Obama, and he was allowed to leave jail every day. Do you guys know when Jeffrey Epstein was incarcerated, Barack Obama allowed him to leave his cell every day? He just slept there. And then Barack Obama let Jeffrey Epstein out of jail 9 months early. And then they gave him access to a private plane and a private island. Yeah, man. My brother said, is he really dead? Man versus Hulk said, is he really dead? Hell of a question. If you think about that, he was able to do what the fuck he wanted to do his entire life. Hell of a question. Because you see in that video, all black security. One of the things as a black person that I never brought up about Jeffrey Epstein is how easy it would have been to pay off those black employees. Everybody on that shift that night was black. Jeffrey Epstein got money that black people ain't never heard of. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Jeffrey Epstein got money with black people ain't never heard of. Everybody on that shift that night was black. He wouldn't even have to pay them. He could just threaten them with their jobs or anything in their life. It would be different if he was around a bunch of white people with moral. Everybody on that shift that night was black, and we seen that black woman going back and forth. We seen the black people, and then on top of that, the video loses 2 minutes. Who the fuck you think erased the two? The black officers who took the money. The same black officers who take money to bring in cell phones. The same black officers who take money to bring in drugs and roof Chris. Anybody seen TikTok videos with cellmates eating steak on iPhones? They get that from those guards. The same guards who were supposed to protect Jeffrey Epstein. You can buy his iPhone for $1,200. You can buy a cell phone. You can buy a steak. Does anybody notice you could buy McDonald's? The guards are dirty. The guards are dirty. Man versus Hawk said, does he have immunity because he's a massage agent? I don't know, because they haven't confirmed whether that's true or not. Oh, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. So what happened in his first initial 2008 when he first was found guilty, remember what the Trump admin said is, why did you go easy on Epstein? The FBI told me to go easy on him because he was an informant. That is why we trying to get certain individuals like Comey and Clinton to testify. Thank you, Man versus Hawk, for bringing this up, because I don't know if everybody understands why we want Comey to testify, why we need Clinton to testify. We want to know about that Jeffrey Epstein sweetheart deal. The admin said, I was told to back off of Epstein by the federal government. The FBI said he was an informant, so we let him go early. We let him out of jail. That's what I was told. The only way to confirm that is to ask the FBI. Comey got to come and speak to this Epstein shit. Comey got to come and speak to the Hillary Clinton server. The Hillary Clinton server. The Wiener laptop. Not the Hunter Biden laptop, but the Wiener laptop that just disappeared out of the media. Remember, look at the numbers go down. We can't even talk about that laptop. We could talk about Hunter Biden, but we can't bring up that laptop because that was Pizzagate. That was the child trafficking that implemented all of the people that's in the Epstein file. So if you guys want to know about the bad guys, you could go to the Epstein files, or we could expose the Wiener. What do we got to wait another 30 years for that? When do we get to see that? Who's going to do that expose? Remember that laptop? That laptop just disappeared out of the media. We don't talk about it anymore. We don't talk about that laptop. All the 9 cops who saw the laptop are dead. 9 police officers saw the videos on the laptop. They're all dead. Anybody connected to the Clintons, dead. So what about the Anthony Weiner laptop? When do we get to see those files? We don't get to see that, right? Because there's no connection to there's no connection to Trump and Republicans. Those are all Democrat leftist boogeymen. The Pizzagate people. Those are all Democrat leftist boogeymen on that laptop. Why can't we see that laptop? Why can't we see those files? Can I get hashtag Wiener files? Huh? Can I get hashtag? Because they want Epstein files that they've had for years, but they tucked away this laptop so Hillary Clinton is doing interviews again, so Hillary Clinton can maybe run for office again. Does anybody even remember? I haven't seen one person in the chat say anything about the laptop I'm talking about. Does anybody remember that laptop? Not Hunter Biden laptop, the other laptop. See how this shit works? See how propaganda works? This is the Mandela effect. I'm not talking about the Hunter Biden laptop. I'm talking about the other freaky deaky PDF laptop. And remember, he was married to his wife and he was sending the naked pictures, and then they got the laptop and it was all this child porn, and then it was connected to Pizzagate and connected to all of the deep state Democrats because he had dirt on all of the Democrats in this laptop, and then poof, the laptop, we never hear about it. We hear about Trump, but Trump, there is no Trump Epstein, but why don't we hear about this laptop? Anthony Weiner, am I saying it right? What's his name? That's his name. Anthony Weiner. Laptop. The laptop belonging to former Congressman Anthony Weiner, seized in 2016 during the federal sexting investigation, became a major focal point in the Hillary Clinton email scandal. That's why Comey needs to testify. That's why Comey and the Clintons need to testify. I bet some of you don't even know why we want them to testify. I think you think we just doing this to be mean. That's why they need to testify, homies. That's what they need to testify. The FBI discovered 650,000 emails, many belong to his then wife, Huma Abedin, containing classified information, which led to late-stage campaign investigation. We want to see those emails. I want to see those emails. I want to see those pictures. The Anthony Weiner, man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I want to see everybody this year. Think about how the Democrats do sleight of hand. Epstein files are 30 years old. This is brand new. This is right now. We could really arrest some people. We could really clean up the deep state with the Anthony Weiner laptop. Epstein files are old. All those people are dead and old. Ghislaine Maxwell's old. Mick Jagger is old. Bill Gates is old. Come on, y'all. They all fucking old. But the Anthony Weiner laptop is new evidence. Do we have to wait 30 years till the people implicated by Anthony Weiner are old enough to die before we find out who's on that fucking laptop? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Y'all focused on information from 30 years ago from Jeffrey Epstein. They had the list. They had the flight logs. They had all that shit. Y'all focused on that shit way too long. And no one has brought up this fucking laptop. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go get my kids. It's Taekwondo. Thank you, Man versus Hawk, for those super chats. See a super chat. Send a super chat. Thank you, Man versus Hawk, for those super chats. Send a super chat. Hey, join the channel, become a member. Like, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, you're gonna get a plus sign to become a member. Hit a plus sign to become a member. You could, right now I got a Somalian special going. I got a Somalia special. You can support this channel for less than 10 cents a day, or you can feed a starving Somalian. I call it the Somalian special. It's cheaper to become a member of my channel than to support Somalian fraud. So just subscribe, become a member, and support a real American citizen, or you can feed starving Somalians. I'll see y'all tomorrow. 1 o'clock, same bad time, same bad channel. Perfect Timing Podcast. I thank you, Michael, Raymond, Hayers, Man vs. Hawk, Teddy, Censored, Gob, Myron, T, the Bird Board, Ted, K, KJ with that beautiful thumbnail, Man versus Hawk with the multiple super chats, T again, Man versus Hawk, Lance, Dante, Jane, Michael, Kelton, Craig, Boomerang, 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 T, Redneck Spartan, David, I love you all, Brandon, Jay Maddox, Boomerang, Brandon, Michael, I love you all. God be real. Tohanga, G-Bro, 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 Michael Thomas, Pam, G-Bro, Jackie, Truth Hurts, Brandon, G-Bro, KJM, Kim, Parner, Zeke, G-Bro, Grippy, Jammin', G-Bro, Grippy, I love you all. I love you all, and I want to say thank you, and I love you all. Thank you for the support. I love you all. I love you all. Gotta go take my kids to Taekwondo. I love you.